And good midday to you. That's right. It's Middays with Thunder right here on The Fan. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Always a pleasure to see Mason Crosby, IRL. We'll talk a little bit about our evening last night. I had a good time and good to see him this morning, too. Of course, it all revolves around food. Well, lots of it does because that's how I roll. Here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. Free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app. Of course, we are on YouTube now as well at The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. And joining me today, the one, the only, Tommy Wirtz. What up, Tommy?
What's up?
Yeah, I mean, not much. How are you?
That's it.
That was it?
So sorry.
Not
that's
like, what's up, Mitch?
I mean,
how are you? Or...
We've been talking together for a little bit already.
Bye,
so
Mason.
yeah,
Fly
Mason Crosby out of here.
Because you're flying the boat, right? Are you flying? You're all right. Do you ever go up to him and say, I'm the Green Bay Packers all-time leading scorer.
Yeah.
Can I?
Jeez, let's relax. Relax.
Yeah. You've flown planes before, right?
Didn't you hear the Spirit Airline
done,
call yesterday? Did
no,
you hear that?
No,
or
I did
like
not.
the air traffic controller,
just ripping on the.
Hey, stop looking at your iPad, or something. Literally during it,
I love it.
Yeah. So, shout out Spirit.
Yes. Yeah. I'll Milwaukee sports fans, The Fan has a new starting lineup with two former Packers players. One's been here, one is new. The day starts off with Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas, who will join today's show around 12:30, and Josh Albrecht from 6 to 9. Then it's 9 to noon with Kuhn, featuring former Packers fullback John Kuhn, returning to Milwaukee radio, and Rami Makloff, also returning to Milwaukee radio. Then at noon,
high noon.
Am I contractually obligated to say high noon?
High noon.
As opposed to low noon? At low noon, it's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, I guess that's me, and Tommy the Machine Gun Wirtz in our new time slot, followed up by Wisconsin Sports Daily from 2 to 5 with Sparky and the Gentle Giant. The new fan lineup starts Monday. I'm making that happen, though, by the way.
I don't hate it.
No, it's totally appropriate.
I can't wait. So next week,
and it's an alliteration.
The next week, not this upcoming Saturday, but they have a remote. You can go meet Charlie
and get an oil change.
Yeah, the Napa. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
say less.
That's awesome. Yeah, perfect.
I'm excited for that as well. The new fan lineup starts Monday on 12:50 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan, and on the free Odyssey app. Can't wait for that. Programming note, Pat Murphy is going to join the show around 11:30. That's right, the manager of our Milwaukee Brewers. So if you have questions for Pat Murphy, I'm not guaranteeing you I'm going to ask them all, but send them in on Facebook. Find me at Mitch Nellis or at Thunder MKE. Find us on Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. The Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 if you have a question for Pat Murphy, or you can just log into our YouTube and throw it in the chat there. That's at The Fan Milwaukee as well. Log into the YouTube. Pat Murphy joining us at 11:30. I suppose I should share that on my socials as well. And one of the things I know we're going to be talking to him about is the starting pitching for our Milwaukee Brewers. It's fun when the Angels are in town and it lines up with Freddie and Woody and Quinn, because Freddie and Woody and Quinn are the studs. They are absolute studs. I would have them out on the mound any day of the week, any month, spring training in March to the playoffs in October. Those are the three guys I want on the mound. But a guy who, since he started the season a little bit late, has been Mr. Dependable for the Brewers, Jose Quintana, is now on the injured list. It looked like maybe he was going to avoid that stint, but then yesterday the team made the announcement. Nick Mears came back off the injured list, and Jose Quintana went on the injured list. And we all know Miz has been inconsistent. Listen, he's 23. He's got tons of talent, but he's still learning how to be a major league pitcher. He's, as much as we want him to be, and as much as he has outdueled him, he is not Paul Skeens. He is Jacob Mizorowski, and there's no shame in that. Jacob Mizorowski's a really, really good pitcher, and he's going to be a really, really good pitcher. He might not be a great pitcher right now, though. He might not be a starting pitcher right now for a team that's destined to make the playoffs. So you have your three. And my question to Pat Murphy is, I don't even know how I'm going to phrase it or how we're going to talk. And I don't know if I'm going to like ask him questions or try to get into a discussion. I haven't even framed like how I want to approach Pat Murphy. But knowing how good Freddie and Woody and Quinn have been, are they sharpied in as starters in the playoffs? Or if Quintana's on the 15-day DL, so he's basically done for the rest of the regular season, but he could be ready for the NLDS. And if he has a rehab start or throws in the bullpen, it won't be a start, but has a bullpen session or whatever it is that first week of October while the wild card rounds are all going on, and pitches well and has no discomfort, and they could slot him back in. Could we see Jose Quintana again this year? It's unfortunate the timing of the injury. And what do you do with Jacob Mizorowski? And I'm really interested. And part of the questions I have for Pat Murphy aren't going to be these specific questions for the playoffs, because he's going to tell me that there's still 10 games left and that they play one game and one game. And so I think big picture wise, I think I want to ask him, like, at what point do you start thinking about and planning, whether it's playing time or lineups or pitching staff or whatever that might look like. Like if you were playing in the wild card round, we all know that last week of the year, you mess with your starting rotation so that your starters are ready to go. We don't have experience here in Milwaukee with our team getting that first round bye, right? The Brewers almost never get that first round bye. It's almost always been, as many times as the Brewers have won the Central the past few years or finished in the wild card, the Dodgers always get it. The Mets have gotten it. The Phillies have gotten it. The Braves have gotten it. We're just not used to being in this position. And that's where the Brewers are right now. The Brewers are in the position where, barring something crazy, and again, if we look at the schedule at the standings today, which we do this every day because baseball's an everyday sport. If the Milwaukee Brewers go 5-5 the rest of the way, the Cubs have to go 10-0. Okay? If the Brewers just go 500, which I believe is very, very achievable, I think they could do better than that. I think they could go 7-3. But let's say they go 5-5 the rest of the way. The Cubs would then have to go 10-0. And the Cubs have done nothing. I mean, yeah, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They're playing okay baseball. But they're not playing great baseball. Like, they've done nothing to make us think they can win the next 10 games. After having won 4, they would match the Brewers' 14-game winning streak. So I feel pretty comfortable that the Brewers will get that first round bye. And so I want to ask Pat, like, I know you're a game-to-game guy. We all know you're a game-to-game, win today, go 1-0, all those sorts of things, which has clearly worked. The team's 93-59. But at what point do you start thinking about what a rotation could look like, what your starting lineup and then what your bench could look like? Does it matter who you play? Which I'm guessing maybe the last guy or two. I don't know if that affects the starting rotation. You know, you look at if they end up playing the Mets or the Cubs or the Padres or the Dodgers, you know, do you look at their splits, their righty-lefty splits, and have an extra lefty on the staff if one of the team really struggles against lefties? Or do you just take your 12 best pitchers or whatever that might look like? So there's, you know, it's an interesting time to talk to Murph because he's not in playoff mode yet. And he shouldn't be. Like, again, there are 10 games left in this regular season. We got one against the Angels tonight. The Brewers then go to St. Louis for 3, to San Diego for 3, and back home against the Cincinnati Reds for 3. And the Cincinnati Reds are still hanging around. You know, they're 76-76. They're tied with the Giants, 2 games behind the Mets, half a game behind the Diamondbacks. And those 4 teams are fighting for one spot. And the Reds being 2 out, you're still in that conversation with 10 to go. Like that's a conversation that's still ongoing. So that might change in the next 9 days. And when the Reds come in, you know, do we hope that they have nothing to play for and they roll over and they make sure that the Brewers get that 1 seed? Sure. That would be great. That's not always how it goes. So, you know, with Quintana on the injured list now, and I liked Quintana as a playoff starter. And I might still like Quintana. Like if this is a minor injury and he comes back and throws a couple times and looks good, I'm here for that. I just think with his veteran savvy, with his experience, and the juxtaposition between what he does and especially like with what Freddie and Brandon do. I mean, I do like the juxtaposition with what he does with Miz. Like I would love a Quintana Miz kind of mashup in terms of pitchers because they're obviously one's righty, one's lefty, but their styles and their speeds and their arm angles and everything is just so different. I'd be in for that. But are we, with 10 games left, Brewers fans, are you a little nervous about the Brewers pitching staff, knowing that we are really 3 deep right now when it comes to the playoffs, and that's fine for the NLDS. That's a little more dicey in the NLCS. It's a little more dicey in the World Series. If that were, from our mouth to God's ears, an opportunity that would happen here in Milwaukee, is there a little trepidation? Is there a little nervousness about this Brewers starting rotation? Tommy, how you feeling?
The starting rotation, I would say I'm not too nervous about.
Okay.
The bullpen, I'm getting more and more nervous about.
More nervous?
Yeah.
Is that Trevor McGill based or is that something else?
Well, it sounds like the McGill injury is definitely not progressing, at least at the rate they would like. I don't know if there's really any setbacks, but it's definitely not going to be, hey, he's ahead of schedule reporting on the flexor strain to Trevor McGill. I think that he has a massive part in the bullpen at the back end of it. I mean, he was an all-star too this year for good cause. He's having a great year and a great tenure so far with the Milwaukee Brewers. But we saw it with Nick Mears, right? He's back from the IL, and hopefully everything is good, but he got banged up. They're using Abner Uribe a bunch as well still. And on top of it, like, how much do you trust a Jared Koenig or a Grant Anderson in leverage situations? I like Aaron Ashby, but it also feels like he's coming back down to earth a little bit too in his recent outings.
Yeah. It's kind of hit or miss there.
I just think the bullpen, they might have got overused this year, just in general. And
well, they definitely got used.
They relied heavily on their bullpen this year, and I'm nervous that they might have ate up a lot of innings throughout the year with their bullpen. And now come playoff time when it's necessary, are they still ready to give their best stuff? And I hope that is the case still with the Brewers. But if you're trying to tell me which are you more concerned about, the starting pitching or anything else, like the bullpen is where my brain goes first as concerns for the Brewers. And it was completely the opposite as how they got to this point. It was because of the bullpen, it felt like. But I'm nervous about their usage throughout the season.
414-677-1250. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. The Crawman writes in and he says, we need those hungry Cincinnati Reds to demolish the Cubs from the division conversation. That series starts today. And I love the passion, but it's just not true. Like I'm just not concerned about the division. I'm just not. Like, you're up 5 with 10 to go. And maybe I should be a little more concerned. Like, if the Brewers lose their next 3 games and the Cubs win their next 3 games, and it's a 2-game lead with 7 to go, I think that's, we get a little nervous. I don't expect the Brewers to lose their next 3. Could they? Sure. Like, could weird things happen tonight at AmFam Field? Do weird things happen in St. Louis? Yes, weird things could certainly happen. But the way the Brewers are playing, certainly the way the Angels are playing, the way the Cubs are playing, the Cubs have won 4 in a row. They're not that good. I don't see them keeping a winning streak going. I'm not as concerned as I should be about this division, but I don't need the Reds to demolish the Cubs. I need, if the Reds win, I don't know where that series is. I don't want the Cubs to sweep that series. And if the Reds sweep it, sure, like that, our magic number goes down even more, and it's fantastic. And the sooner you clinch, the more rest you can get guys and all that sort of thing. I'm just not worried about the division. And Mrs. Thunder hates this because she's not a little stitious. She's super stitious. So she gets really mad when I talk this way. But I just look at logic. And has crazy things happened before? Sure. And could it happen again? Absolutely. Whether we talk about it one way or another. But But I like the position the Brewers are in, being 5 up with 10 to go. Like, that's where you want to be.
Absolutely. It is like a comfortable, but you don't want to get complacent, right?
Yes,
Like
that I
that
agree.
is, I think that harping on, hey, how important is the division keeps you focused into October at this point right now for Milwaukee. That they know they're in the playoffs. That's not necessarily a goal you can chase anymore. And if you don't have something during the regular season to talk about that goal, then you're going to end up finding yourself, getting complacent before playoff baseball time.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear that point. But I'm obviously more worried about Philly. It was, last night was a good night because the Brewers won and Philly lost. The Brewers now 2.5 games ahead of the Phillies, and it was a 1.5 yesterday. I mean, that's a little scary. And that is, again, we're watching that NL Central standings, and we're absolutely watching the Phillies standings. But you saw that Phillies Dodgers game last night. Man, if Blake Snell is that guy and Tyler Glasnow is that guy, like I know.
You mean the Dodgers are built for October?
Right.
Like
That's what I mean.
Duh.
Right.
Yeah. They that's a team that, they're actually showcasing maybe a little bit of complacency where it's like, let's just get to
get
the
us
playoffs,
there, right? Just get in
and then turn it up. Like,
Yep,
we'll
that's
see
right.
if that works. It last year obviously worked out perfectly for them, but they were already the best team in the MLB last year. It felt like the entire year. And
Right.
Shohei Ohtani comes over and, can we also stop like making up stats for Shohei Ohtani?
What do you mean? What got made up?
The 50 homers, 50 strikeouts. Like that's not a thing. Like, oh, he created a new 50-50 club. Like, I understand
is he under 50 strikeouts, or is
he got the 51st homer or whatever. Like, he just got it his last time he either pitched or hit. I can't remember.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I get it, but first of all,
Yelich is like 130 strikeouts.
50 strikeouts from the pitcher side of things.
He has pitched 50 strikeouts.
Right.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought you meant as a hitter he'd only struck out 50 times.
No,
Okay.
He has 50 strikeouts as a pitcher.
That's a number.
Yeah, but like,
it's just made up.
It's just a number. Like, that is 50. I understand. Like, he's a two-way player. Like, he's amazing. He's first ballot Hall of Famer. He's everything incredible about the game. 50 strikeouts is not a crazy number of strikeouts in an MLB season. And we knew he was going to hit 50 homers this year.
Right.
Can we stop just like pretending to make him better than he is already the best? So we don't have to he's not Barry Bonds. You don't have to find the crazy stat. Like 50 and 50, not crazy compared to. It's way more impressive the 50 homers, 50 stolen bases to me.
It's what?
It's more impressive the 50 stolen bases, 50 homers.
Right. I agree with that totally. The Dodgers are now talking about Ohtani potentially pitching in relief.
Yeah.
In the playoffs.
We were all over that.
Yeah. The question about that, though, that they're going to have to deal with is like, if he's warming up and let's say, you have to balance where his spot in the lineup is. Because if he's coming up, if he's batting that inning and you wanted him to pitch that inning, he can't warm up.
How did they do it in the WBC when he came in for Japan?
I think they must have, he pitched the last inning, so then they came in and did that. But in the WBC, he started.
He was no. He closed it. Remember, he struck out Trout to end it.
They must have had. He
was warming up in the pen,
right? So it must have worked out that his spot in the lineup wasn't coming up. But so Dave Roberts was saying it would only work if his spot in the lineup isn't close. The Dodgers also, if he's running bases or if he's in the game and they take him out as the pitcher, you can't go back to be the DH then.
How long until they amend?
He would have to play the outfield, which he hasn't played all year.
Until they amend the Ohtani rule that they had where it is the pitcher can enter as the DH right now. That's the new rule, whereas you can take out your DH and make him your pitcher
and then move him back to DH.
Like they're going to make some sort of rule where it's like, we just want to see Ohtani in the game the whole time. Yeah. So who cares? As long as you're messing with DH and pitcher, then it'll be fine.
As long as you're messing with it, I don't really have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't, if he came in to pitch an inning and ends up going extra innings, you shouldn't lose Ohtani because he's not pitching anymore.
Pinch hitter in your DH spot if your DH is going to turn into your pitcher to give ample time to warm up. And then he can re-enter as the DH.
But you don't want a pinch hitter for Ohtani.
I understand, but where is the value now? Do you want his bat up there? Or do you think he's the best end at the back end of it? Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
he throws 100. Right. He's throwing 100 at the back end of the bullpen. That's always going to be something good too to talk about.
You're not wrong. Pat Murphy's coming up. Let's get to Pat Murphy after we talk to Ken in the Falls. Ken, you're on the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. What do you got for us today, Ken?
Gentlemen, always a great show. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, brother.
With that being said, I am actually the most confident about this Brewer pitching staff and bullpen. I was listening to you guys talk, for the last 15, 20 minutes about it. And when you see, here's going to be your three starters, in my opinion. Murph's going to go with three guys. He's going to have, Peralta, you're going to have Woody, and you're going to have Priester.
Yep.
Everybody else is going to fill in after that,
yep.
which is outstanding. You got Quintana, Miz, you got,
well, hopefully
Ashley.
You have Quintana. You don't know if you have Quintana.
Yeah, more than likely they will, though. I mean,
we said that about McGill 2 weeks ago, too, though.
Yeah, but now I'm going to throw you, and then they got Mizorowski, which I'm going to throw you a big monkey wrench.
Okay.
And don't be a bit surprised if you see this as a result of McGill. Don't be a bit surprised if Murphy doesn't pull something where he brings Mizorowski in to close out a game or two.
All right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I think fantasy baseball favors that. I'm not sure. I
don't know about fantasy baseball. I'm just looking at reality baseball.
He's talking about hypothetical baseball.
Right.
He said fantasy. Right. I know what you meant.
I think you could see him pitching in very high leverage situations. I think it's more likely that he does those in the 6th or the 7th. I think Uribe stays the 9th inning guy if there's no McGill. But I think you will see Mizorowski pitching important innings in the postseason if they can work out, all the mechanics of him being in the bullpen and how, and managing his workload and making sure he's healthy and all those sorts of things. Ken.
Well, here's the big thing with that too. When you start talking about managing the workload, you're in the playoffs. At this point in time, it's you're playing for tomorrow. Literally, you're playing for tomorrow, pending the lead that you have on a team in that series.
Yep.
So Murph knows it. That's what he's working towards right now. When you watch the way he runs his lineups, that's what he's doing. And I answered one of your questions that you put out on your poll on Facebook. He has his A team, no two ways about it, and then the other guys fill in. And that's the beauty of this team is the offense that they can bring off the bench, knowing their role, knowing that when they get an opportunity to shine, they're going to be doing that. Now, I do have one more quirky thing to throw in there, and
all
then
right, one more quirk, Ken, and then Pat Murphy's coming up, so we got to get to
Pat.
Pat.
I know, Pat. He's going to have a couple more those pocket pancakes while he's waiting. He knows I'm on the air. But anyways, the big thing is, don't you think that GM Arnold, knowing the situation with McGill, might be looking to pull off a trade for a closer from another team at this point in time? I mean, you can still get somebody. No,
you can't. They need to be on the roster as of September 1st. So,
okay. I thought they still had an opportunity to go and grab somebody else.
I mean, you could have them for the rest. You could have them for the rest of the regular season, but they would not be playoff eligible. You have to be a member of the organization on September 1st to be eligible for postseason. That's okay. Now you know, and knowing's half the battle. Ken, thanks for the call.
Have a good day, boys.
You too, man. Ken drops off. We are going to get to Pat Murphy, the manager, coming up next, right here on Middays with Thunder, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. This is Middays with Thunder on The Fan, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey apps, iHeart apps, free on YouTube as well. We are on YouTube as we speak. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, and it is my absolute honor and privilege at this time to bring into the show on The Fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. He is manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy. Pat, thanks so much for jumping on today.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to hear your voice, and I'll be honest, it's been great to watch the team play this entire summer, spring, summer, and now into fall. I know you talked about it a little bit last week. I think the over/under in Vegas, which I'm sure are numbers you don't look at, and at the Potawatomi Sportsbook was 83.5 or 84.5 for total wins. 12 games to go, or 10 games to go, I'm sorry, you're already at 93. When you set your expectations for this season, do you have a win goal in mind? Is it a finishing a certain place in the division or in the league in mind? Or is it just playing the best baseball you can over 162?
Yeah, I try to not let my mind go to those big things. Like I really believe in this win tonight thing.
Yep.
And you just prepare them to win tonight, and then you look up and you go, wow, that was decent.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Like we had last year, nobody predicted us to win the league last year, and we won the league by 10 games. Like people can say what they want, and if you start putting any time into that or making your own predictions, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Just go ahead and put your head down and play tonight and see what happens.
Pat Murphy joining us here on The Fan. It's easy. I don't know if it's easy, actually, I should say. But it sounds easy to say win tonight and to get everyone to buy into that. But when you have an 11-game winning streak, when you have a 14-game winning streak, when there are outside influences who are looking at the standings or potential playoff matchups or whatever that might be, how hard is it to focus on that win tonight in the clubhouse and make sure that everybody's on board and not, and if people do peek at the standings, that it's maybe okay to peek at it once, but not to get caught up in that sort of thing?
Right. I mean, it's hard to control. These are young minds and our minds. I mean, young or old, we're still at times undisciplined, and it's a difficult task. It's the mental toughness that it takes to stay in the now is incredible. It just is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's mental toughness. The mental toughness to stay in the now is really, really hard. And if players can start to take that journey and realize, wow, this is hard, but knowing that that's the journey that can lead you to a lot of success because your mind's on the right stuff, that's toughness.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy joining us here on Middays with Thunder. Pat, this is Tommy Wirtz here, was on the phone with you earlier. But you talk about the mental toughness with this team, and it also comes with such strong mental toughness with such little experience in the big leagues this season specifically.
Right.
You have a bunch of different rookies that have played massive roles for you this year, whether it is, a Chad Patrick on the pitching side or how the breakout season of Isaac Collins and Caleb Durbin. How do you credit the young guys to have that mental toughness so early in their career and able to sustain it at least for 90% of a season? Like, where do you go with the credit on that outcome for your team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think credit is even anything that we should talk about. It's credibility is what we talk about. Do those players develop credibility to be able to sustain it? And are they trusted by their teammates? And that's the credit word that we talk about is credibility. Who gets the credit? Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
That's just not our deal. But you're right for picking out, like, these are young players that no one had on their roster. A lot of these players on our roster wouldn't make the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Cubs or the Padres. They wouldn't make the team, but they make our team because we're the sum of the parts. Like, we don't have a bunch of superstars. We don't. But we have guys that want to grind. We have guys that want to fight you and have that mental toughness for the now. Now, it's been amazing what these guys have achieved. They really have. And I'm really proud of them. We got a lot of season left, and we're beat up. We're beat up badly. We got guys going on one leg. We got guys with all sorts of physical ailments, and we got a long way to go. So there's no coasting, and we got to keep that mentality.
Well, and Pat, how is that like a top-down thing preached, whether it is from Mark at the top or leaders in the clubhouse who are there every day on the coaching staff? And Christian Yelich specifically is who I want to get to as well with this. If you're going to have this mantra of win today and we're not worried about credit, we're worried about credibility, that's got to start from your leaders on the team, right? And Christian Yelich seems to embody that mindset better than anyone in your clubhouse, at least from the outside looking in.
I mean, he's incredible. I don't know better than anyone else or whatever at it. He's just been at it the longest.
Sure.
He's cool, calm, collected. He doesn't force it. He doesn't try to be a leader. He doesn't try to draw attention to himself ever. He's humble. He's sincere. He's authentic. And he provides such great example that it's a lesson on leadership. And he gives his opinion and he speaks up, but in really good doses. You know what I mean? In really good doses. He's critical to this ball club.
Pat Murphy joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. You mentioned some of the injuries, and certainly, as fans of the team, followers of the team, and sports media members, whether we're sports media members or not, we're noticing the injuries. Everybody's seeing Jose Quintana in a boot and now on the injured list. Trevor McGill on the injured list and potentially with a setback. Nick Mears coming off the injured list. But how much of this is, listen, at the end of 152 of 162 games, nobody's really healthy versus these are some injuries that the team really has to overcome looking ahead into the playoffs. Are you able to start planning for some of these injuries into the playoffs, or is it still, you're not quite sure what this roster is going to look like a week or two from now?
Yeah, it's tough to forecast what the roster is going to look like completely. It's tough to forecast too much because McGill's injury, could not go away. The Quintana injury, we feel confident he will be able to help us at some point. But look, guys, we got to finish this to the finish line.
Yeah.
We got to finish it the right way.
Yep.
We've got tough opponents, maybe the toughest schedule of anybody because of familiarity and being on the road so much. And the pitchers we're facing, all that kind of comes into play. And we got to understand we've always overcome things. We played last year, won the league by 10 games. Yelich only played 73 games for us.
Yep.
Devin Williams played half the season. It's the who, it's the collection working together. And I think we're going to have to do it that way because we're not going to match up with any team in the postseason man for man. We match up in a different way. We match up and here we are, here's how we play, let's see how we do it. So I'm not even there yet mentally, I'm just
yeah. You're waiting there. You're a day at a time. I get that. And I think that's a great mindset that everyone can live by more than just past baseball. Right. And when did you realize, or when were you trying to implement that philosophy into your clubhouse, Pat, this season? When did you realize that that's when you could get the best out of this group of Milwaukee Brewers, where it is, hey, we can have goals, but we can't focus on those goals until we get done with our business today. When did you realize that was going to be the best message? And when did you see a turn with the team on when they really bought into that message this year?
Yeah, I've had that message since the day I started as manager. I mean, it's been win tonight, and it's been all about the now and playing in the now. So it's even tough doing these interviews talking about going forward, but it's part of my job, so I do it. And you guys seem like really nice guys. So
we try.
We try.
Yeah.
And we're fans. Honestly, I know we're in the media, but we're fans too. So we cheer for you guys literally every day.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is always something. It's pretty simple. It's like, but like you mentioned astutely, executing it is the hard part.
Yeah.
I say all this stuff, but do I really live it? Do I live it? And that's the difference. And if we got to keep our head that way. And the belief system, do you really believe? Are you positive about how you think? I mean, that's an area where I get crazy. I get negative thinking and what if. And I guess that's part of my job. But ultimately, you got to believe in your core, like a spirit, like there's something special. Let's let this team play it out. There's something special about this group. We started the season, guys. We started the season of the pitchers on our roster right now. Only one, Freddie Peralta. Now Mears is back. No, Mears wasn't with us. Freddie Peralta and Koenig are the only two guys that opened the season out able to pitch.
Wow.
Freddie Peralta and Koenig, the only two guys opened the season. We had 11 other pitchers out that opened the season in New York, and we sustained that. We got through that. So nobody's had bigger adversity than us, but we've come together, and there's been a lot of consistent play. And like you guys mentioned, some of these rookies, they're cliffhangers. You know what I mean? They don't know if their locker's going to be there. They don't know if they're getting sent to AAA when I call them in. It's a beautiful thing. They play hard, and their season is successful already. No matter how it goes forward, they've had a great season and represented the city well and the Milwaukee Brewers well.
Well, and Pat, as you talk about the team, you talk about some of the rookies, the special season that it's been. And I think sometimes it's hard for us as fans and as media members to know who to focus on. You guys talked about Christian Yelich for a little bit, and we talked about on our show, one of our topics is Christian Yelich underappreciated? Because Andrew Vaughn is terrible with the White Sox, gets sent down, and all of a sudden he's the best player in baseball in July. And then what Caleb Durbin's done, what Isaac Collins has done, Bryce Terang all of a sudden is Babe Ruth and the best power hitter in August and is unbelievable. And then you look at what Freddie Peralta's done with 17 wins with a 2.65 ERA. Quinn Priester, he's pitched in 18 straight games. You guys have won 18 straight games that he's pitched in. There's so many different storylines that when you get asked questions at post-game press conferences or you do interviews like this, how do you know what storyline that people want to hear about, or are you interested in some of these guys' backgrounds and where they came from and how they got to where they are today? There's so much. We could talk for hours and get, it would take hours to get through each player's actually interesting story, and you get to deal with that every day.
I do, and it's a privilege. That's what I can tell you. It's a privilege to be around these guys. They all do have a great story, but they didn't get here. And we really got to credit our front office for, just understanding what fits here. It really, it's a difference maker. So.
Pat Murphy, Brewers manager, joining us here on Middays with Thunder. Brewers set to take on the Angels today, 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field. I have just one more question for you here, Pat. I never had the opportunity to meet Bob Uecker in my lifetime, which is a huge regret in my life. I was even employed when I was 18 with the Brewers and never found my way over there. What would his reaction to this season be so far? How would he be going throughout this? I mean, it's been an awesome run throughout the summer, and you see a lot of great stories and a lot of great moments. You have the burgers for the city and the moments of Miz coming up and being an all-star, right?
The pancakes?
The pancakes, I'm assuming Bob would have shared a pancake with you, at least from what I know. But what can you imagine? The first year without him and forever with this organization, and how would he have reacted to what's going on this summer?
Yeah, he's the same, I believe Uke is with us in spirit, and, we can feel him around the clubhouse. I mean, I can just see him coming forward the same every single day. Howdy, boys. When we lost, he's like, don't worry about that. When we won, he'd be the same. He'd be talking about something else. He knew how to handle his whole, the baseball season. That's where he was most at home, in the clubhouse. that's where things were really, really special for him. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just, I'm here to tell you that he is as connected to this group as he was to last year's group.
That's awesome. Pat Murphy joining us here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. And before we let you go, 10 games left in the season. I know your mantra of win tonight and the focus on that. But as someone who does look at the standings every day, I see where the Cubs are. I see where the Phillies are. What would it mean to this team to not have to play in the wild card round, knowing kind of the heartache over the past few years and specifically last year, and with the injuries, knowing that there might be a few extra days to rest if things go the right way the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, that's what we want to have happen, because you've got less games to have to win it all. And so you want to build in that advantage. But this team hasn't done anything the easy way. This team always has found a way to make life interesting. And, I respect whatever happens for them, like whatever way they choose to do it. And it will be their choice because they're capable of. We got some tough pitching we're going to face in the next 7 days, 10 days. The pitching, the kid tonight is outstanding, capable, why he gets paid the big money. The kid tomorrow gets paid $35 million next year for pitching. That means he's a star. The kid after that's a veteran that has beaten us many times. The three in San Diego are all getting paid tons of money because they're really, really good. Yep. And so we got to figure that out. It's going to be like playoff baseball, and we got to just keep going. And it can't let what's supposed to be. I had somebody say to me this morning, "Oh, you're playing the Angels. They don't have a very good record." That has nothing to do with how the game's going to turn out. Because anybody in the big leagues can beat anybody. So we just got to keep that mentality.
Right.
Sorry, I can't jump in on your, talking about the postseason that much because it's just not here yet.
No, that totally makes sense. I was going to piggyback on what you just said and say, if the Brewers played the Angels 162 times, and you might disagree with this or not want to even make that hypothetical. I'm guessing the Brewers win a good 90 to 100 games just based on how this team's seasons have gone this year. But you don't play them. You don't play them 162 times. You play them 3 times. And each game, like you said, is a win tonight individual game. So as much as you look at past history and you look at the statistics, and yes, are you favored to win tonight? Sure. But a pitcher pitches a shutout, you have no control over that, right? So so you just have to keep moving forward, right, Coach?
No question. You can't even. You mentioned the word favored. That's you just win pitches. Yep. You just keep winning pitches. If it's a ball, you take it. If it's a strike, you hit it, and hopefully you hit it where they're not. But you hit it hard enough that the space you have is a little bigger when you hit it real hard. So I think you kind of break it down into that, and you don't think too much about it. The results take care of themselves, and try to stay poised under pressure because there's a lot of pressure on these guys now.
Yeah,
it's something they've never faced. They've always been the underdogs, and now they're being told, well, you break the all-time record for franchise wins, and these guys are just like, what? Yeah. Early in the season, we didn't know we were going to be in the big leagues, and then the way the season started, we didn't know we weren't going to be in last place. So,
and
really
we're just trying to win tonight, right?
That's exactly it.
I love it. Pat, thank you so much for taking the time. As you know, you've got a city, you've got a region, you've got a state, all with your eyes on you, filling up AmFam Field pretty much every game from this point till the end of the season, and certainly into the playoffs. I know when the playoffs roll around, it's going to be loud, it's going to be raucous, as it should be, and that's why we're fans, because we're fanatics and we get loud. But we're cheering for you, we're cheering for the team. And we wish you much. I'm not going to say luck. We wish you much success the rest of the regular season, and whatever tonight's exist after that.
Thank you so much, and thanks for all your respect for these guys. They really deserve it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pat.
All righty. Take care, guys.
You bet. That's Pat Murphy on the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Tommy, I don't know about you, but I adopt him as my uncle like immediately.
Didn't I've said
I know,
this.
I
It's
know.
like
Yeah, he is.
Best grandpa ever,
Right.
worst father-in-law to have.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah,
just the
like,
vibe he gives off.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He would be the cool grandpa and the scary father-in-law. That's all I can think of with Pat Murphy. And I mean, even when it's like, I can't even think that far ahead. You're like, all right, I'm sorry. Like, my bad.
But still tell us a little bit about ahead.
Right.
Still give us a nugget. I think some of the things we learned. Hopefully Jose Quintana can pitch again this year. I'd be surprised if he was on the NLDS roster. But
McGill's scary.
McGill's a scary one.
Yep.
And I do wonder at some point if McGill comes to them and says, I got to pitch. Like, I know I'm not fully healthy. It still hurts, but you got to put me on the playoff roster. Like, I got to be on it. I do wonder if a situation would come to that. What would happen? Do they risk next season? I actually had that thought with Mizorowski as well. Like, do they risk Mizorowski at all by pitching him out of the bullpen in the playoffs if something were to happen and to affect next season, half the season, the full season, the first month, whatever that might be? Thanks again to Pat Murphy for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Plenty to react to there. We've got Packers talk coming up in the noon hour as well. And we've got one of our newer teammates. He's going to join us in the 12 o'clock hour as well. Maybe a couple, because I just saw one walking in the halls. So you never know who might pop on today with our brand new schedule starting here on Monday. This is Middays with Thunder on the Fan. YouTube has no idea what we're jamming on. I love it. This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Again, our thanks to the Milwaukee Brewers and manager, Pat, reigning National League Manager of the Year.
mean,
maybe.
I know he doesn't like to look ahead.
Once back-to-back.
Future back-to-back.
I mean, he's got to win it.
Future back-to-back.
I know he won it last year, and so there's going to be some.
If they give it to anyone else, they're wrong.
Right. Who's I don't even know who's the manager. Like Phillies is the only.
Is it Rob Thompson? Is that his name? Right? Isn't that who it's been for a long time now?
I think that's the only. That's the only one.
If you missed that talk with manager Pat Murphy, we'll play it again. 1:20 today on Middays with Thunder. It was good talk.
Sir, yes, sir.
And it was, I think, worth a listen again in case you missed it in the program. Join in a little bit later. 1:20 again. We'll have Pat Murphy and that conversation we just had with him.
He's so focused on tonight,
but he's also just so genuine. Like you just believe everything that's coming out. Like it's not coach speak with him.
No, it is not.
It is coming from the heart.
That's right.
With what he speaks, it is not. He never asked for really like any you rah behind it. It was just like keep doing what you're doing with these boys because they hear it, they appreciate it, and they're gonna get after it.
The Nicolay Law Fan talking text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. What a great interview with Pat. I love that guy. Being the wife and I and another couple are going to the game tonight. I'm ready to scream my head off. Let's get this done. Go Crew. Randy in Greendale. Randy, and that's for all 40,000 people going tonight. That's next weekend, all 40,000 people going Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Reds. And of course, that's everybody who gets ends up with playoff tickets. Like, just get loud, get into it, leave it all. The fans leave it all because the players are leaving it all on the field as well.
I kind of want like a Pat Murphy tattoo bet, and I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do though.
Right, because it can't be
like it's just so late in the year now.
It can't be. Is he going to win the manager of the year?
Right, because then it's just like get a tattoo at that point. But like 100 wins, like. Is that like again? Like it's a week long. Like we'll know in a week. It just doesn't really do much for me. Like Brewers make it to the World Series. Pat doesn't want me to think like that. I just learned that. So we'll have to figure something out for next year or something. But I'm down. I'm game.
Do we have? I don't see Manager of the Year up on Potawatomi's website. I don't know if that's just not on their site, but they actually have it. They have NL MVP, AL MVP. AL Cy Young, NL Rookie of the Year. That's what I see right now.
I don't know how
they update them differently, and so they pull stuff off and put it back up. Pull stuff off, put it back up.
I don't know how like recognized it is. Like, is the comeback player of the year odds on there? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know where it goes with that. Really, really interesting looking at the betting odds, courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Some of the odds for futures like AL MVP, they're just giving it to Judge still here. Like Cal Raleigh's got
to win it, doesn't he?
It's an insane season he's got going on right now. And a switch hit, the most homers ever by a switch hitter now. That's a new record. Right. Most homers by a catcher. He just homers every day. If he gets to 60,
right? He's at 56.
Yeah,
I mean, he very well could get to 60.
But I mean, he's got to have a good week. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
he's got to have a good week still.
4 home runs in 10 days.
Yeah,
like, that's a
good week.
That's a good week.
He's had stretches of that, like not unheard of.
Yep.
But still makes you think, like, And I, like, really, is it worth like right now putting plus 3,000 on Isaac Collins?
I don't think so.
Like.
I just don't think nationally he is respected in that way.
What about Caleb Durbin at plus 10,000?
No, like, that's even worse.
Like that's $2 bet to win $200.
Listen, are they both worthy of winning Rookie of the Year? Yes. They're not going to win.
Have you heard anything about Cade Horton in the national media?
No, but he threw a shutout the other day. He beat Skeens. He improved to 11-4. I think all of a sudden, if the Cubs get their PR out, I still think the kid from Atlanta is going to end up winning it because he just keeps hitting. Like he's hitting home runs. The Madison kid, the catcher, Drake Baldwin. I just think he's going to end up doing it.
That's dumb.
I know, but there's no exceptional rookie in the American League.
Drake Baldwin, however, humble brag.
Oh. Is this going to be a Northwoods League situation?
He was on the Northwoods League team I worked for, the very first one.
So not Wilmer?
No, he was a K-Town bobber back in the Kenosha bubble during the 2020 year. Yeah,
bobber, not kingfish?
Kenosha Kingfish versus K-Town bobbers.
What does that even mean?
Well, it was 30 games or something of two teams just playing each other.
Because it was the pandemic year.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he was on the K-Town bobbers.
Got it. Did the bobbers exist for 1 year?
1 year. Okay. And they might have had the best merch in the game. Like,
really?
Honestly, look up.
Do you have some?
I have a hat for sure.
I need a t-shirt, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the t-shirt. I have one sitting around somewhere. Probably will fit you, to be honest. Like, it's maybe a little small on me now, but I think if I can find it, I'll hook you up with the K-Town Bobber t-shirt.
Nice. Again, our thanks to Pat Murphy for jumping on. If you missed that, we will play that again around 1:20 today. New teammate Trevor Thomas is going to join us around 12:40 or so. I saw Josh Albrecht walking around the building. Brandon Snyder was in a meeting earlier. So
many meetings now.
I know, so many. You got all the shows.
Corporate, dog. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we got to get Mason back on the air because we need some corporate Mason.
Corporate Crosby.
Yeah, that's corporate Crosby. That's how he does it. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. Talk a little Packers in the 12 o'clock hour. Some of the players talked yesterday. Got some updates on some injuries. So just go through some scenarios with our Green Bay Packers here on Middays with Thunder, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey and iHeart apps. We're on YouTube as well. Hi, YouTube. I'm waving. So if you can see me, wave back. Yep, I see you through. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I see you too. Yep. Nicely done. Yeah, see, you can see people through YouTube. It's magic. This is Middays with Thunder on The Fan.
lightning and the thunder.
But after all these years, I'm still scared of thunder.
It's time for Middays with Thunder with Mitch Nellis, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. What's up, T-Dub, TK?
Hour number 2.
Hour number 2. Let's go. Again, our thanks to Pat Murphy for jumping on. If you missed that, we'll be replaying it around 1:20 or so.
Thanks to Pat Murphy for just being a part of Milwaukee.
I mean, you can say that again,
Right?
because he was like, he had a foot out the door. Like, he was going to Chicago with Craig. And I don't know the full story. Drew Wagner probably does. Pat Murphy probably does. I put my water. Oh, it's all the way over there. But what a win. Not just for the Brewers and the Brewers organization, but what a win for Milwaukee and for Wisconsin. That Pat Murphy. All right, I'm going to get into trouble. Because I shouldn't be the one saying this. Like, I kind of want to tell Sparky to say it, because Sparky will say it no problem. Sure seems like Pat Murphy's a lot more Wisconsin than Craig Counsell is.
Whoa.
I don't like that.
Whoa. I was going to say, like, favorite coach in the state.
Ooh,
like,
favorite, not best.
Just
I don't want to do that, like, favorite. Like,
I don't know, best ambassador? Like, is that kind of what I'm going
coach
with?
you most want to have a cup of coffee with? Something like that?
Yeah, glass of wine, you can go with LaFleur. But,
right. Oh, for
yeah,
sure.
Right.
Oh, LaFleur is such a wine guy.
Cup of coffee.
Three fat guys and Matt LaFleur could, like, drink anybody else under the table.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah, for sure. Think that Pat Murphy takes the cake on a cup of coffee.
Greg Gard, I feel like birthday cake. Like I would have a piece of birthday cake with Greg Gard. Like, I think Greg Gard could crush a sheet cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What am I doing with Shaka?
Ooh, Shaka's the guy you want to work out. You want to take a spin
Oh.
class with Shaka Smart.
I don't know if I do, because I don't think I'll be able to walk after that class.
That's like what you want to do with
I would
Shaka
want a
Smart.
cup of coffee with Shaka. I mean, I'd want a cup of coffee.
I don't want him
with
any more
energy. He doesn't need.
Yeah,
all right,
that's just a lot going at it.
Smoothie, maybe grab like a smoothie with Shaka. I don't know. I gotta think about Shaka. How about Doc?
Yeah, I don't know what Doc is. Like, what do you want? Like,
I don't know.
The one I want to be my attorney the most, like Doc Rivers. Just interrupt everyone every time they try to say something.
Like, so speaking of that, I was thinking of, like, I want to be Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is on my TV. I get very distracted by WWE. It's WrestlePalooza in Indianapolis this weekend. If you don't know what that means, that's okay too. But I feel like Doc Rivers is the one you want to go to a networking event with, because he's like going to have no fear going up to every group and just like introducing you and like getting everyone's business card. And by the end of it, you'll have 3 deals done. Whatever your business is, whatever your industry is, Doc Rivers you want him in that networking.
Yeah, and Luke Fickell, the most likely.
I don't even know.
I want to have the largest lecture hall class with, so I can sit as far away as possible
and take a nap.
Yeah,
and nap the whole time.
Not have to deal with.
I don't know. I don't. You know, it's funny we talk about that. And Fickell, this is his 3rd year, 4th year.
3rd.
We don't like. Do we know anything about Luke Fickell?
No.
I feel like I don't know anything about Luke Fickell. And I feel like I do know about. I mean, listen. I know George Webb's is the burger place and the Milwaukee place, but if I could get breakfast at George Webb's with Pat Murphy, life goals, like life is complete.
Coffee,
right?
Though. It's the same thing.
Cup of coffee, maybe dunk a piece of. Does Pat Murphy dunk his toast in his coffee?
He gets like biscotti. He gets the coffee cake.
I mean,
he might
get the biscotti, but if he just has toast,
he dunks his pancakes in the coffee. Let's be real. Like, that's exactly what happens.
I like that. Oh man, this is a fun. Right now, I don't know anything about this website, Oddspedia. So is that like Wikipedia, but for odds?
Sure.
They have Pat Murphy at -175. which is not an overwhelming favorite. I don't know. Is this year? Like this, they have it. It must be. They have Craig Counsell second at plus 115. Then they have Terry Francona, the Reds, Mike Schilt with the Padres, Clayton McCullough with the Marlins, then Bob Melvin with the Giants, Dave Roberts with LA, Oliver Marmol with St. Louis, Carlos Mendoza with the Mets, and then Rob Thompson with Philly.
What?
I mean, isn't Phil like I would have Rob Thompson ahead of Craig Counsell? Like I think you could say Craig, maybe not. Maybe
are we going to give the manager of the year to a team that doesn't make the playoffs? Like,
no,
come on, no. Like that. So I'm Terry Francona. I don't think you're going to make it, boss.
No, but they've overachieved. He's done a good job with that team.
I don't know. I feel like the Reds were kind of everyone's sneaky team this year.
That's true. That's a good point.
I feel like they are literally exactly where everyone thought they were going to be.
Yeah. 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. It is Pat Murphy, the manager you most want to have a cup of coffee with, or if you're looking, or what is your list of managers and coaches
that you want to meet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Randy writes back in. The Miz is in an interesting decision. I think the Brewers may have lost a little confidence as a starting pitcher. So if you put him in the bullpen, what's his role? Some games in the first inning, he's so wild. I don't think he's a high leverage reliever. Probably piggyback with Ashby maybe, but I have more confidence in Ashby and Hall. That's Randy and Greendale. And listen, that's part of the conundrum with Miz, right? Is that his first inning numbers aren't great. Is that he does have tendencies where he gets wild. And when he doesn't get wild, he's really, really good. But he gives up the long ball sometimes. By the way, 414 wrote in, and he said, whoa, fellas, you keep up all that Pat Murphy butt kissing, and you'll wind up with chapped lips. Listen, he won the manager of the year last year, and they're going to set a franchise record for wins this year. Like, I have no problem. This is part of being a fan, right? Like, if I was Drew Wagner, or if I was Adam McCalvey or Kurt Hogue or Jack Stern or Todd Rosiak, and I had to ask questions as a journalist, which I did go to journalism school and I know all the rules, I would do that. I'm a sports radio host, and I get to act like a sports radio host, which means I get to be a fan. I get to cheer for our teams. And I've never understood the people in the media who get into the media and stop cheering for their teams. Maybe they've seen how the sausage is made. Maybe they've seen too much. Maybe they know too much. Okay. That could be. But I never want to be that guy. I always want to be the emotional fan. And listen, right now, like I'm not gonna kiss his butt, but I'm gonna praise Pat Murphy to the high heavens because I'm excited about Pat. I love what he's done. I love what he does as a manager. I love the message that he shares. And and that's the Pat I know. So that's the Pat I'm gonna celebrate, because I think as the current manager of the year, as who should win back-to-back NL managers of the year, like, he deserves us to celebrate. And listen, if things go wrong in the playoffs and he makes mistakes, we'll talk about that. Like, we're that's part of it as well. But
we've also been very critical at some of his moves of like, sometimes he gets a little cute, like, for sure.
Yep.
Like, I just think that as talking about, if we want to showcase the human Pat Murphy, like, nothing but good things to say about the human of Pat Murphy, the
right.
baseball manager side.
Right.
He doesn't want to talk about the future.
Right.
And what do we want to do? Just keep asking about the future so he can say, I don't want to talk about it?
He's not going to give us the day Trevor McGill's coming back.
Right. But he did give us a pretty good hint on that it's not looking great.
Right.
Like, it's not looking great. It looks good with Mears and Quintana that they're hopeful he'll be back for postseason play.
Yep.
Sounds like Trevor McGill. Like, I don't think so.
Well, and he even was it him or was it Arnold? Somebody said yesterday that Gasser's really close.
Right.
Like that. He'll be up any day now. And if he all of a sudden, what did he pitch? Like 3 2/3 no-hit innings in Nashville 2 days ago? Like, if he's ready to go and he can make a difference, I'm here for it. Like that's another
soon,
arm.
Soon was the
Right.
word used yesterday with Pat Murphy.
That makes you feel a little bit better, right?
Yeah. Like it's just always soon.
Yeah, it's always soon. All right. So I do want to get into a little Packers talk when we come back from practice yesterday. The injury report's out. Want to go through the injury report and talk a little Packers as the Packers get ready for the Browns on Sunday, noon kickoff on Fox. This is Middays with Thunder, 414-677-1250. If you want to reach the show, 414-677-1250. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis. We are Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. Milwaukee sports fans, the Fan has a new starting lineup with 2 former Packers players and lots of Packers fans. The day starts off with Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor Thomas, alliteration, and Josh Albrecht from 6 to 9. Then it's 9 to noon, alliteration, with Kuhn, rhyme, featuring former Packers fullback John Kuhn returning to Milwaukee radio and Rami Makloff also returning to Milwaukee radio. Then at noon, it's time for the Mason Crosby Show with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis. We'll be in our new slot, noon to 2, starting on Monday, followed up by Wisconsin Sports Daily with Sparky and the Gentle Giant from 2 to 5. The new fan lineup starts on Monday. Make sure you're listening to either 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, the Fan, the Odyssey app. I assume it'll be on the iHeart app as well. Some of it will be on YouTube. I don't know what I'm allowed to say. It's okay. It's cool. It's all
Mason
good.
Crosby Show will be on YouTube.
The Mason Crosby Show will be on YouTube, and that's the time slot we're on right now. So this noon to 2 is like I was just keeping it warm for Mason, and he'll jump in on Monday, 2 feet in. How well rested is he going to be now?
Oh man, I mean,
Like he's going to come in guns blazing at noon.
I am excited for the later start. I mean, not like 9 was awesome.
When's the last time you woke up not with an alarm?
On the weekends I can pretty
Sometimes?
comfortably.
Okay.
But as far as now, like every day, I mean, I'll be up by. There's no way. Even if I sleep the latest I possibly could sleep, I don't even know if I could get to 9 o'clock anymore.
Like even on the weekend or on a weekday?
Yeah, I mean, I'm up at 8. If on the weekend it's 8:30 all day.
Okay.
All day. That's just what the clock is now. I'm also going to bed a little earlier, right? Like it's just how it is.
No, that's a good point. 414-677 1250. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. If you want to be a part of it or if you want to text in your thoughts, Ken writes in, you have 2 Super Bowl champion Packers. Ken wants to remind us. It's not just 2 former Packers. It's not just 1 Super Bowl champion Packer. It's Mason Crosby. John Kuhn was also on that team. We have 2 Super Bowl champion Green Bay Packers. That's true. Speaking of our Green Bay Packers, Zach Tom yesterday said he felt good, but wouldn't divulge chances of whether he will play or not. It's kind of hard to run, Zach said. That's the main thing. I feel like moving side to side, I'm good, but anything that involves me trying to get out and open up, that's kind of like where I can feel it a little bit. So that's what Zach had to say. Aaron Banks was asked, and he said, I'm playing. Bill Huber shared that. Zach Tom, I got that information from Matt Schneidman. Bill Huber. So Aaron Banks. So if Aaron Banks is playing, Zach Tom is a maybe. If Zach Tom doesn't play, is it Belton for sure?
Probably by now, yeah.
It kind of seems like that's the direction they would go. Kennard's still around, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And I think serviceable as well. I don't think there's anything to be too. I mean, obviously you want Zach Tom out there. He is your all pro caliber right tackle. But even Luke Butkus had comments yesterday talking about like it's amazing the depth and like how it's changed over a year right now with the Green Bay Packers in his comments with the media.
That guy looks like a football guy. I'd never seen that guy before.
That's Dick's son.
Is it actually Dick's son?
I'm pretty confident, or nephew or something. I'm pretty sure it is.
Luke Butkus. Let's see. It's got to be right away.
I mean, he's from Illinois. Like, isn't that like totally?
You would think so. I'm clicking on Packers.
He's the nephew. He's the nephew.
Okay, yeah.
I was about to say. I said it was either his uncle or his kid.
Right. You were right.
I remember that. Yeah.
You were on it. You knew. So I think that let's see. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays. Oh, remember it was you can't count on much these days. I'm reading. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL and CBS and Paramount Plus. Stream your local NFL game live every Sunday all season long, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's like $250 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. There's always good matchups on CBS, and I think I think we're just excited for football to be on Sunday, meaningful football to be on Sunday, lack of meaningful football to be on tonight. That's for sure. That's Bills and Dolphins, by the way.
I can't wait to watch just because I just feel like I've been so out of a football fix.
You definitely have been.
I really just feel so weird. I feel so weird. Feels weird. It's only Thursday, even too, because of how long it's been since the Packers have played.
Right. This was they played in this game a week ago, and now we have to wait 3 more days.
Yeah, it's not fair.
No,
it's not fair.
I am not going to watch the game tonight. I will have the Brewers game on. I'll be doing other stuff. If I see that the score is worthy of my attention, I will probably turn it on at some point. I'm trying to think fantasy-wise. Do I have any Bills? I definitely don't have to. Oh, I have A-Chain on a team. So I need him to do something. Mikey Henninger from Brood Basement Fantasy Football, who was on last week, he's going to be on again tomorrow. So we will have a chance to answer some of your fantasy football questions tomorrow. And I think moving forward, he's going to be on that same time on the Mason Crosby Show. So we've locked in a fantasy expert Fridays at 12:20. So that's our fantasy time here on the Mason Crosby Show. Jordan Love also had an opportunity yesterday to talk to the media, and I thought what he said was interesting. If we could listen to that.
Yeah, we're close on a couple. We had it was the same route that Wicks, the earlier deep ball we had that we missed, and then the one that MG ran later. But we were right there. Just missed a little bit too much out there, and probably just put a little more air on those balls and let them get a chance to gauge it. But I'm always trying to put it out there for them, let them go get it. But it's a game of inches. We're right there. The other one I had to MG, that 4th down. That was one that I kind of got back to him late. We thought there was 12 on the field, so it was kind of free play mindset. And I couldn't even tell where the post safety was at that time when I got back to him. So, I wish I would have put that one out there a little bit more. But definitely that was a super underthrown. So tough play right there. But, yeah, it's a game of inches, and, just got to hit those.
First of all, what do you think of MG?
I'm cool with it.
MG? Yeah.
MG's cool.
Yeah, MG's all right. That's Jordan Love talking about Matthew Golden and missing him over last Thursday night. Missed him on the 4th down where if he just threw it a little bit further, he had him. And on the deep bomb where he had him too, and it got fingertips, but it was just out of his reach. And if you listened to Andy Herman this morning on Packet A Radio, he had a Cleveland Browns reporter on, and the Browns reporter was sharing that perhaps the biggest hole in Cleveland's defense is their slot receiver coverage. And Matthew Golden, with the expectation that he steps into Jaden Reed's position now with the starting offense, is going to be lined up quite a bit in the slot. So the question is, will Matthew Golden is this week his time? He had 2 catches for 16 yards. He had a big first down catch in week 1. He did not catch a ball in week 2, although of course he had 2 big misses that Jordan Love kind of wants back. And is this the week that we see the emergence of Matthew Golden? And I'll kind of say yes. Like, I think Matthew Golden gets his this week. I think Matthew Golden, 4 or 5 catches, 60, 70 yards, nothing crazy unless they hit a bomb. But I think you could see a bunch of crossing patterns for 10, 15 yards here and there. Bunch of stuff on the inside. And I think, the more he plays with Jordan Love, the more they develop a chemistry. It's tough sometimes for rookies to get that, especially with how people don't play in the preseason that much, except for the joint practices. I think this could be the first week. And I don't think that means that means MG has arrived and that every week he's going to get 5 for 70 and a touchdown. But I think this week we could see a nice performance from MG. And it wouldn't shock me. So, everybody knows I play underdog. And so I think Matthew Golden might be one of those guys, might be one of those sneaky picks on underdog. We don't have buys yet. So I wouldn't say go pick up Matthew Golden for your fantasy team. We know the Packers spread the ball around. We know Kraft is probably worth starting. But besides that, I don't think any wide receivers are worth starting with the Green Bay Packers. But it wouldn't shock me if Golden gets the numbers this weekend.
Better numbers than Tucker Kraft this week?
I'm not willing to say that.
Okay.
He might have the best numbers of any of the wide receivers. But I don't necessarily, I think Tucker Kraft You just I at this point right now, I don't want to bet against him against anybody. It is based on what he did last week, based on what the perceived emergence of Tucker Kraft and what he's able to do, and just the complete. This has nothing to do with anything, but just the complete joy and glee he has when he catches the ball and then immediately looks for a defender to throw. Like there is a dog mentality in him that when he catches the ball, he is immediately looking for a defender with his off arm out, just like wants to throw that guy. And I just love that confidence. Again, that joy, that glee, like just absolutely super excited for that. Rhino writes into the Nicolay Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. Don't forget Brandon Sneed on 9 to noon on the 9 to noon team, best producer in the business. And that's response to our new lineup starting on Monday, of course. 9 to noon with Kuhn, with Rami Makloff and Brandon Sneed. It's gonna be absolutely that's gonna be a wild show. Because Kuhn's coming in as a member of the Packers radio network. Kuhn's coming in as a guy who lives in Wisconsin now. And Rami is a Wisconsinite, but he's also an Illinoisan, He's an annoying. He's a Cubs fan. He's a Bears fan. He's a Bulls fan. And like the way that Charlie was raised by a Chicago fan, but Charlie's from Brookfield. Like Charlie's not a Chicagoan. Rami is. And so I'm really interested to see if that's a water and oil situation, or what that ends up looking like. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Ram is on the north side. Ram, thanks so much for popping by.
It was at Brat House.
My Brat House in Shorewood on Tuesday. It was, I know Tommy was super excited, and so was Sparky, and it's great to hear your voice on our air.
Well, thank you for accepting my calls, and that was I like your setup over there for the Brewer game. I told a lot of people about it.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Now I know. I can park my car, and that's minutes away from where I stay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You get old, you don't want to drive.
Well, we're gonna be at Lefts in Tosa today. I know that's a little bit out of your way, but anybody who's listening who's in the Tosa area, Sparky will be at Lefts in Tosa from 2 to 5, and then Tommy will be there again from 5 to 6:30. So we all, Lefts is one of those true Milwaukee institutions. The wings are great. The huge pretzel's great. During March, they have like the best Guinness beef stew, I think. One of my favorites in the city. So, all right, Ram, what do you got for us today?
Well, I'll listen to you guys about the Packers' next game, how they should treat it. It's still a game. Maybe get your reps in, stuff like that. Now, you got to
show up. You got to win tonight, right?
Yeah, you got to win. But what I want to know is going forward, how do you see the Packer offense? This is what I see.
Okay.
I see the Kraft and Musgrave getting a lot of receptions.
Yeah.
And I don't want to wear out Jacobs.
Okay.
So when he start getting close to 100 yards, so many carries, we got to start bouncing out. But we got to find out who is going to be the number one receiver.
Okay.
Now, do you put pressure on Golden as a rookie, or you just kind of blend him in? How do you guys see that?
You know what, Ram? That is a great question, and I've got Trevor Thomas from Inside Wisconsin Sports coming up next.
I'm gonna listen to it.
He's going to be part of the new morning show with Josh Albrecht here, starting on Monday from 6A to 9A. I'm going to save this question, and Trevor and I are going to start our conversation by answering your question next. How's that sound?
I appreciate it.
You bet.
I'm online.
I love it. Thank you, Ram. Thank you for the call. That's Ram on the north side. You can call in, but not now because Trevor Thomas from Inside Wisconsin Sports, co-host with Josh Albrecht. He's joining us next here on Middays with Thunder on the Fan. always. I know you'll be at my show, watching, waiting, zerating. Say it ain't so. I will not go. Turn the lights off. Carry me. This is Middays with Thunder. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz with you, just banging along to Blink 182, right?
Little angst.
Little angst, little good,
angst.
little good teenage angst there.
That
just
needs to
just
be a
letting it
segment
loose
on these airwaves.
that
A little
does.
angst.
Well, just a
little
little
angst.
just a little angst, little pocket pancake and a little angst. My name's Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. 1250 AM 105.7 FM. The Fan. Remember, all new lineup starting this Monday and kicking us off on Monday to 9 inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Trevor Thomas joins us here on The Fan. What's up, Double T?
Dude, what's going on? First off, did everybody listening get to hear you sing, or was that just for us behind the scenes?
No, that was
no,
actually,
everybody.
You didn't even hear the music either, right? You
No,
just heard
it was
Mitch.
just Mitch.
So on the radio, everybody heard the music. But on YouTube, on our video stream, we're not allowed to play the music. So oftentimes I will just rip a beat a cappella.
Yep, heard that loud and clear.
Nice.
Hopefully
So
never
basically you're saying I nailed it, and I appreciate
Nailed
it.
Nailed it. I was bebopping along with you.
Yes,
for what it's worth.
nice. Well, I appreciate that. Trevor, Mitch, Trevor, nice to meet you. How's everything going, man?
So grateful to be a part of this
welcome
team.
aboard, baby.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm so excited to be here. Monday cannot come soon enough. 4 a.m. is going to be a little different in my life. I'm a little bit night owl, and that's going to apparently have to change. But
yep.
And I'm super excited. As a matter of fact, this is just how our life works, right? So I come on the air right now, and I literally just got a missed call from Josh. So
Yep.
all the time. I am so jacked to be doing the show with him.
Tell Josh to call in. Tell Josh we should get him on the show right now too. Like, I don't care. There's no rules. There's no rules here.
You know what? I'll text him right now.
Yeah.
I'll send him a link if you need
send him a link. Send him a link. Let's go.
I'm on the radio. Join us.
This is literally my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Like Tommy and Charlie will tell you, Trevor, that all I do is like talk to text messages while I'm on the radio because
he wasn't holding his phone up to his mouth. He was telling you what he was typing with his finger.
Oh my God. I wish you guys could see this. He goes, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What thing? Right back. Thanks for listening.
I'm going to FaceTime.
Thanks for listening to your new station, Josh. We love you.
This is great radio right now.
I love it.
FaceTime Josh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Literally. Can you hear it?
I'm lit. Hi, Josh.
You're
it's still FaceTiming. Yes. Perfect.
Josh, I'm literally on the Fan as we speak. Would you like to join us or not? You're on the radio, by the way, so careful.
Yeah. Like he might have kid duty right now.
Yeah, they're gonna email you a link right now. So why don't you just jump on? Unless you're in the building.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, he's in the building.
He's literally in the building. All right, jump right there.
I'll get it worked.
Yeah. All right, Josh, Trevor, Josh. Say hi. What? Do you have an IFB?
What are you talking about?
Are you on TV? Like, you are so professional. Like, we all have these headphones. Josh is like an IFB he puts in his ear, like he thinks he's Lance Allen or something.
What are you?
Jones.
Are you Dan Patrick?
No, I am definitely not Dan Patrick.
I don't know. You're kind of Dan Patrick.
I'm Dan Patrick. No, I'm not.
No. Okay.
No.
There we go. All right.
I was just.
Can you point the camera at you now?
I was just busy. No, I was just busy trying to listen to a Pat Murphy interview that I heard earlier on the Fan.
It's coming back at 1:20, so you can listen to it again. We're gonna play
it. It was a fantastic interview, and I thought I missed part of it.
People are like, we kissed up to him, and I'm like, you're darn right, we kissed up to him. We flipping love Pat Murphy right now, do we not?
First of all, I feel like a lot of people, if they got the opportunity to talk to Pat Murphy, you stand a little taller.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're on guard a little bit. Pat Murphy is not a guy that you're going to kind of joke with.
No, but you can a little bit.
A little bit, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Not to where you're going to get, sassy with him.
It's a little scary. When you joke with him, you're like, are you going to laugh? Or are you going to go?
Right, yeah.
Like, where are we?
And then as soon as he laughs, you're like,
okay.
The relationship,
Yeah.
the relationship I describe Pat Murphy as is he is your favorite grandfather you could ever ask for, and the last father-in-law you would ever want. Like
Right.
that's the
somewhere in the
dynamic.
middle of that,
right?
Yeah.
Like he is. It just seems like he's so intimidating, but you can tell it all comes from his heart. It all comes from his love, like the entire time.
And it's really important to you that he likes you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I'm going to make sure to open the car door for everybody. I need Pat Murphy to like me.
Imagine asking him for his daughter's hand.
So,
Oh, yeah, exactly.
No.
Oh,
do
my
you
God.
guys
The
know?
hardest.
Do you guys know who his son-in-law is?
No.
Oh, you've told me this.
It's Pedro Alvarez, old Pittsburgh Pirates third baseman, back in the day.
Sure.
Who was
Yeah.
on the he was on the
That's
Brewers for a little while.
I don't think he was.
Pedro Alvarez?
No, I don't think
Oh,
you're
I'm
mixing
thinking-
it up.
I'm
He was
thinking-
just in Miller
No, you
Park
don't-
all the time because
right.
they played
You're
the
right.
Pirates 19
I'm
times
thinking
a
of-
year.
He
Well,
I'm thinking of
Practically was.
Ramirez. They got a Pittsburgh third baseman who before Pedro Alvarez.
Aramis Ramirez.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Wow. Not even close,
totally
Mitch.
different.
Totally close. Third baseman for the
No.
He's more known as a Cub than a Pirate for sure, too.
You're more known as a
Trevor, Josh,
Pirate.
you got a new show coming up here starting
Don't
We
steal
do?
Monday.
my thunder. I was going to do the whole thing.
Well, you
Trevor, did you know about this?
Ladies
I'm
and
aware.
gentlemen,
I'm aware.
it's Monday morning at 6 a.m. You've woken up. 3, 2, 1, take it.
Inside Wisconsin Sports, here on the Fan, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. I'm bald. I know that's a prerequisite. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Oh, great. Good to see you. So, wait, Mitch, I really want to talk about this wide receiver
Nailed
one
it.
thing with the Packers.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that was
I have-
what Ram. So Ram just called in, and I told him we would answer the question when we came back.
That's nice.
He wants to know who will be the number one, the wide receiver number one for the Packers, and do they need a wide receiver number one? And the answer can't be Tucker Kraft because he already said that Tucker Kraft is great, and we all expect Tucker Kraft to be great.
I like asking questions with questions. Let's go back to the 2010 Super Bowl team. Who was the wide receiver one on that team, guys?
Greg
Jennings. It was, right? By
Yeah.
statistics only. Meaning,
Okay.
did we really know who the ball was going to that year? Greg first, but look at the rest of that roster.
Well, I mean, this is the age-old question, though, of with it being a one, do you need to label wide receivers 1, 2, and 3? If you're spreading the ball around, does it really matter?
Well, Jordy had the big Super Bowl, too. Jordy's the one who had over 100 yards in the Super Bowl. Like, when the game counted, that's who they were relying on.
Right.
That
Someone's
time.
I'd prefer it go to the 2 or the 3.
Right.
Did they think we only had one receiver because we labeled him as the one?
I think it's not. So I think to Ram's point, though, it's not about the label. It's about in action on Sundays. Is there going to be a wide receiver that Jordan Love relies on more than the others? Or is he, as he's done the first 2 weeks, just going to spread the ball around to who's ever open, and whoever has the day that day gets the ball more than others?
I think it's more that one.
You think it's
I
more
think
that
that
one?
Jordan Love is because look, I've never been a professional quarterback, but I'm thinking that if you have to be very, 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 very confident, and you know that if I have to throw up a 50-50 ball, it's going to go to this person.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love seems like he's never been that quarterback. It's always been, I'm going to the open guy. I'm going to what the play design is. I'm going to what makes the most sense in this situation. Not an Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to force it to Devontae because it's Devontae.
Nailed it. I was just going to say that, Josh.
But he was Devontae. Like, he was clearly so much better than everyone else. I guess that's the other question. Is no one clearly better than everyone else?
But do they need? Well, okay, so hear me out on this, and I love what Josh just said. When the Packers traded Devontae Adams, I said right away, "Oh man, who's Aaron Rodgers going to force the ball to now?"
Oh, yep.
Because that's what it felt like. And so I agree with Josh. I don't think Jordan Love is that quarterback. He's going to see who's open. He'll work through his checkdowns because there isn't that one that is the guy that we have to throw it to. And I think the 2010 Super Bowl team fits that bill too. Greg Jennings, number one. You got it. Wide receivers. Donald Driver. Jordy Nelson. The list goes on. And look at the current roster. I think it's the same thing. Jaden Reed, a little banged up. We get that. Not going to be the guy, at least for a while. But look at the rest of this year's roster. Tell me if there is a guy that we don't trust now. Now, go back 2 years. There's some guys on the roster that we weren't sure we could trust.
That is
as
true.
it stands right now, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Malik Heath, I think Bo Melton could make an appearance at wide receiver, not to count even the tight ends. And this looks and feels a lot like the same setup as it did in 2010.
Yeah, I see that. And I think, we all know the famous Sports Illustrated cover with Jennings and Jordy and James and Randall and Donald. And it's like, I mean, talk about a fivesome of just awesome. I think Jermichael was in there too.
He was.
But, it is, I don't know that this group is quite at that level.
I agree with that.
I think that's pretty easy to say.
Though?
Because they haven't done it yet.
That team,
they haven't achieved that.
Wait a minute.
This group of wide receivers,
Tommy, are you telling me that you think if right now, if this is a fun at the bar hypothetical, sports conversation to have, so I enjoy these, but you're telling me that you would take 3 of the guys on the team now against Jordy, Jennings, and Driver?
First of all, you didn't even say James Jones, who is like
I
one of my
James Jones in my list.
Josh
Yeah,
there, though.
right.
I'm just saying, like one of my all-time favorites, right? But I understand, like they obviously in the NFL landscape accomplished more, but you cannot tell me that they're not trying to run the same exact style of offense where they can give the ball to everyone right now. And while Matthew Golden is going through his ups and downs right now as being the first round pick, and ultimately the goal is to get him to that number 1 level status, it's actually probably to Green Bay's benefit that there is no number 1, and that, when you go and play a Justin Jefferson or a Jamar Chase, it is, hey, where is he on the field at all times? Where is he? Where is he? Whereas with Green Bay, who the hell's getting the football? Like they get to pass it around as much as they want. And that was the goal of the 2010, 2011 team that we're talking about here. By no means are they better than that team, but that's exactly what they're trying to emulate, it feels like.
Nailed it. Tommy absolutely nailed it just now. You cover him, I'll cover him. That's all we got to worry about, right? Kraft, who had him? Where's that?
Yeah.
What?
And good luck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, no, listen, if and this is what we ran into a little bit last year, is that we were told everybody could play, and then everybody decided to get a case of the dropsies and not perform at the level that we still this year still think they can perform at. I mean, I can't believe, and he tweeted about it today, Jaden Reed caught that ball while breaking his collarbone on a perfect throw by Jordan Love. He still caught that ball. And I know it doesn't count, and it's a shame it doesn't count. But if he can catch that ball whenever he gets back to healthy, and Romeo Doubs can just keep being this excited, into it Romeo Doubs that we've seen through 2 weeks this year that we never saw before. If Dontavian Wicks can make first down catches, and I think Matthew Golden is going to explode this week, because I think they're really going to find him wide open in the slot against the Cleveland Browns, because I know Andy Herman this morning had a Cleveland Browns guy on who said that the Browns' real weakness on defense is their slot cornerbacks. And then with what Kraft can do, I mean, I just think these guys, it's all there for them. And if Jordan Love is him, and if these guys can just hold on to the ball, we can have another coming of these 5 amazing wide receivers. And that doesn't even count the fastest guy who's coming back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I also think that with this luxury, though, I mean, Trevor, Josh, chime in. I feel like it takes a little bit off of Jordan Love to be him with all of the talent around him. I see Trevor nodding, so I feel really good about that take.
I think so. That's a good take. Yeah. Listen, I feel that way about Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers. That was a forced situation because Rodgers really didn't trust many of the other guys on the team to catch the ball. You're right, Mitch. That was our problem last year. Dropsies. Guys couldn't catch. We didn't know who we could throw it to. Do you guys remember the first pass of this season? Right through Romeo Doubs' hands. And I'm like, here we go.
Oh, boy.
No, it's not the case anymore. And you're right.
We've seen different.
Yeah. And it means that, the narrative should not be that Jordan Love is him. It's like Matt LaFleur, him after this process.
I don't think that Jordan Love has truly ever had to be in a position where Aaron Rodgers was
for sure.
Finding one guy. The entire time that Jordan Love has been the quarterback, the starting quarterback of this team, he has had the ability to not have to force a ball to one guy. He has had options, and from a fan perspective and a media perspective, the way that he is judged, I think, is way different, because from the beginning he has come in with a whole slew of options. He can go here. It doesn't matter. And I love that for him. And I love that for us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's
I
definitely
hate
a
that for my
benefit.
fantasy team. Hate that.
You have who on your fantasy team?
I am a homer to the nth degree on my fantasy
yeah,
team.
I
I
mean-
couldn't even list you all the Packers I have, and that bites me in the you-know-what.
Well,
Man, everyone loves
you-
hearing about your fantasy team.
You should never have a Packers wide receiver on your fantasy team.
Well,
we
right.
all know
You
that.
should also put your investment, like, don't let your fantasy team stink and the Packers stink in the same day.
I
Like,
suck
that's just
so bad at
double.
fantasy.
It's because you keep taking Packers.
Yeah.
Like-
Honestly, it's a donation to be involved in the group chat where
That's
where
exactly
everybody
what it
talks
is.
about
Fantasy
that's-
football,
yes.
I literally, when I send the payment on Venmo, the little message that goes with it says, "This is payment to continue being your friend."
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's it. That's
and,
it.
And we're still one of our leagues. We're still in the same league from
Yep.
across the street, and it's like it's still fun to be in because
I don't even pay attention to it.
you literally made a transaction like 2 days ago, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm just
I don't know.
All right, so we're talking Packers, and we're finally 3 days from now we'll have a game. The Milwaukee Brewers trying to wrap things up both in the NL Central and in the National League. We had Pat Murphy on earlier, and we were very nice to him, and he was very nice to us, and I'm completely comfortable with that. Like I don't feel this need to have any sort of adversarial relationship with our coaches. If there are tough questions to ask, I'll ask those tough questions. But I have no problem like being nice and leading with kindness. And is with 10 games left, Trevor, is there anything you're watching for specifically with this Brewers team?
Josh and I did a test show the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about
Can
whether we should
throw that up on a podcast? Can we get that? Like,
No.
let's go.
That
don't
wasn't
know.
FCC regulated.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's only a podcast.
Yeah.
There are no rules with podcasts.
I think
just
you
so
got
know.
it. If you
had to click the button.
1099.
Yeah.
1099, I think.
Here's what we were talking about, and I think Pat Murphy's a genius for this reason, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. After the winning streak, I believe that Pat Murphy took his foot off of the gas just a little on purpose. I think the thing was on the floor, and I think he went from going 100 to going 55 again, and that was absolutely genius. That's why we felt that weird little downturn in the Brewers. I think some guys went on the IL that didn't necessarily need to go on the IL, but they rested some guys that hadn't had a lot of rested. I feel like we treated a particular catcher's finger a little bit differently after that streak. And I think we're seeing now, granted against the Angels, that they're starting to ramp back up a little bit. And that feels really good with 10 games to go.
I think that's I would extend it to August. I would say August the foot was on the pedal, right? More than just the straight 14 games. Like August they were even at the last series in Toronto, they were already still going after it, trying to win that series. Once September came around, it did feel like, Trevor, that it was the first time this team was looking forward as opposed to looking forward to today. And I think that that's why you've seen a little bit of struggle out of the Brewers, is because I'm sure conversations of October have crept into that clubhouse by that time. And the effort is to make sure that this is the team that can play in October, not the team that can play on September 1st.
Bingo. This is the thing. This is what I talked to Trevor about. Okay, look, I'm a very emotional and passionate sports fan, especially about my Milwaukee Brewers. And I am looking at what do we have to do right now to be the hottest team when it counts.
Yep.
I loved that we were the hottest team for that month and a half. That was awesome. Man, did I love that.
Yeah.
But I would like us to be the hottest team that ends with us with a World Series once. That would be cool.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Thank you. And so
Yes.
it was what needs to happen here. And listening to Pat Murphy earlier when you guys were talking to him, it was, we are in a tough spot right now. It was hard to not hear in his voice the concern of, that we're not going to be at 100%. We got guys playing right now that, we need guys to play. We got guys that are out that I'm hoping are going to be back, but they might not be back. And that starts filtering in all these questions of, what is this team going to look like without McGill? Are we worried about this team going up against powerhouses if we don't have X, Y, and Z guys out there? Or if we have X, Y, and Z guys out there, but they're at 50% and 70%?
Right.
And is that better than having a different guy out there that's at 90 to 100%? And all of these thoughts, which are the thoughts you don't want to have if you're trying to be that hot team going into the postseason.
He's Josh Albrecht. He's Trevor Thomas. Monday morning, 6 a.m. right here on the Fan. Cannot wait. Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
See you then.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh this Monday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday, right here on the Fan, as part of our brand new lineup with Inside Wisconsin Sports, 9 to noon with Kuhn, the Mason Crosby Show moving to 12 to 2, and Wisconsin Sports Daily served up by Wendy's 2 to 5 with Sparky and the Gentle Giant. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to tune in, fellas. Have a great, well, it's not the weekend yet, but have a great rest of the day. Have a great Friday, and see you guys bright and early. I won't be here, but I might be on the YouTube channel. I might wake up.
You will.
I might wake up to tune in on YouTube at 6 a.m.
It kind of gives like first day of school
It's
vibes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't even need the
yeah.
alarm on the first
Right.
day of school
Yeah.
for some. I need it every other day.
Yeah.
Fresh
Hey,
haircut,
fresh
new
haircut.
shoes.
yeah. You got, just get that, just
Yep.
put the shaving cream in. Yeah, there you go.
We should have Trevor do the first show with a helium balloon right next to him the whole time that he has to continue to hit, because
I love this idea.
I'm kind of intimidated hearing you say.
I was going to say we should have him. He actually has to shave his head while live on air. You have to put earbuds
Would
in.
you be able? Would you
Yeah.
be
Here's
able to
an idea.
know?
Real quick idea.
Yep.
I'm doing No Shave November for men's health awareness.
Yes,
And
of course.
Ear, not my face.
Oh,
I will grow this puppy out in November, and I'll show you
Okay.
why I shave my head.
Fair.
Were you pointing at one hair or one
Yeah,
spot?
I was
I
going to
think
say
one
no
hair,
one's
yeah.
going to be able to see it.
Now we're throwing haymakers.
Oh, sorry.
Can't wait to talk to you on Monday, buddy.
Oh my
Amen.
gosh. I
Okay.
love it. Thanks, Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht. Can't wait to tune in on Monday and hear all that's going on. It's going to be an absolute blast here on the Fan with Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. My name's Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. Middays with Thunder. We've got another hour to go. We're going to replay Pat Murphy around 1:20. We're going to preview Thursday Night Football, and we're going to preview the Brewers Angels tonight. And whatever's on Tommy's mind. Just, we get inside Mason's head sometimes with Mason's extra points. We're going to go like Tommy's tidbits coming up. Yeah.
All right, nice.
Yeah. I need some of Tommy's tidbits. So this is Middays with Thunder here on 1250 AM 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. And we're on YouTube, baby. Is that your banger?
Yeah, kind of.
This is Middays with Thunder. I'm Mitch Nellis. He's Tommy Wirtz. Our thanks to Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht.
That's going to be a really fun show in the morning, it
That
sounds
is.
like.
I think it is.
Yeah.
One of them uses their real name. Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, do I use my real name?
Yeah.
But Tommy's not my name.
You're really caught up on this.
Well, Trevor,
Like, you're
Trevor's middle name is Thomas. That's why, right? I mean, it's his name.
That's actually a good point.
It's his name.
So there was a time where I thought about going, and I think I might even have a couple bylines in the Badger Herald. Mitchell Aaron. Like Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Mitchell Aaron.
Apparently my mom said the same thing about Carl.
Yeah.
That's why Carl was a middle name for me. But
Is that you could be like related to George Carl? You could
right.
be
It is with a K.
Thomas
too.
Carl. I know.
So,
That's why I called you TK on the radio yesterday like 7 times.
Really? Yeah. No, I don't. I've never once ever used my middle name for virtually anything ever.
Except for when I call you TK.
Correct. Yeah, that was
Okay.
the plan. And Mitch, I we got this kind of open here, and I wanted to talk about Thursday night football with you here.
Yeah.
And I thought that looking at tonight's matchup of Bills Dolphins, like what a stinker they just threw up on Thursday night football.
That is correct.
And the last 2 weeks, it's been very good. Like last week was technically the first edition of Thursday.
Because week 1 is kickoff, and it's always going to be a good one. It's always a good team at the defending champion. It ended up being a weird game. By the way, real quick, did you notice that last Saturday there were weather delays in Texas, Miami, and Purdue?
What's up with
all
weather
at the same
delays?
time?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not going to go, but there's definitely more extreme weather these days. I don't know how much you fly, but I think for people who fly, they know that like the turbulence is worse than it used to be.
Really?
Like the weather's a little more intense than it used to be.
I haven't been on a plane in a little bit, so I can't really say, but I felt like
You don't fly to Wilmer on your private jet?
No, I drive the 400 miles instead. Yeah,
that's a thing.
It's not terrible,
No.
but I think that Thursday night they need to make sure Thursday night, if it's going to be standalone, is quality every time.
But you can't change dates of games to Thursday, like from the Sunday schedule.
I understand, but
Like,
they
you can't
also
do
are
that.
designing the schedule. And
right.
maybe they also, you know what? I can also respect that maybe, hey, it's a divisional game, and we thought the Dolphins might have something figured out.
Would at least be relevant.
Yeah,
Like,
it's early enough where I
right.
guess you can't penalize it too hard about Thursday night games, and they've done a phenomenal job going from, this was a Jaguars Titans special back in the day where Color Rush,
where the Jags were wearing all brown.
Yeah, right. And
all right,
it was
all right. So let's go. Let's look ahead.
Yeah.
Let's use a crystal ball. Next week, Seattle, Arizona. I think that could be a sneaky good game.
Okay,
I don't hate that.
Like, let's scale 1 to 5 all of these games.
Okay.
All right, that's a 2.5.
I think it's a solid 3.
I think that's about as mid as it gets.
No, I think it's better. I think it's better than mid.
Okay.
Next week, week 5, San Francisco at the Rams. All right, so here's what I don't like. I don't like that it's back-to-back NFC West games.
Okay.
San Francisco at the Rams is a good game.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a 3.5. But I don't like that you're going Seattle and Arizona to San Francisco, LA. Like, let's mix it up a little bit.
That's
like,
a 3. That's a better game than this game. Yes.
Yep.
Or the game before, the Seahawks Cardinals.
Philly at the Giants.
That's a 2.
That's a 2 at best.
2 at best.
Yeah. I mean, I get that New York's a market, and so you're going to put them on.
New York is a market. Yeah.
Pittsburgh at Cincinnati just got way worse.
It was a 4, and it's probably like a 2.5.
Right. It was going to be a shootout. Aaron and Burrow throwing the ball all over the place.
Yep.
Now it's going to be Brown. Like
maybe Jake Browning's him. Maybe
he's like even if he's lowercase him, I would take it.
He's lowercase.
Yep.
He's high.
Minnesota at the Chargers. Oh yeah, this is the Tommy Bowl, baby. Tommy's 2 favorite teams.
These might be my 2 least favorite teams
I agree.
in the NFL. Actually,
all right, so Vikings at Chargers.
That could be. God, I don't know. I that's a game I hope goes into a weather delay.
Is it weird that I don't like watching games at LA? Like I don't know if it's the camera angles or the color of the fake grass or something. Like something's just off watching games, in that stadium. I don't know what it is.
I think that that game is better than all the games except for who did we give the 4 to there?
The
Oh no, we said that was
No,
the Philly
right.
game, right? Or no.
No.
What was the before that?
Before the game before Philly is what you're saying it would have been a 4.
Would have been a 4
Yeah.
with the
No.
that might be the best game so far on Thursday. To be
Right.
fair, Chargers Vikings.
And it might be terrible.
And it
Like
might be, but it could also be a
the
terrible
Vikings
game.
could be awful by then. They could be like
completely
pack
agree.
it in.
That is the widest range so far of Thursday night.
Baltimore at Miami.
Why has Miami got 2 Thursday games?
I don't know. That's garbage.
That's
That
garbage.
stinks.
That's
Yeah.
terrible. That's 1 for putting Miami on twice.
Las Vegas at Denver.
That's a decent one, I think.
It should be.
That one's a 3.
Yeah, maybe. It could be a 2.5 though. The Jets at the Patriots.
It's
that is
I mean
max 2.5
Thursday night. Like this is getting pretty exposed here.
And then the week before Thanksgiving, we won't go past Thanksgiving, but the week before Thanksgiving, Buffalo, Houston.
I also think
Well, you
that's
hate
a
Houston.
stinker. I just think Houston's done. I think Houston's done.
I don't think Houston's done.
I think it's over.
I don't think it ever started.
I just think
They're just playing a division that's terrible.
Thursday night, be better.
Thursday night, bad football this year.
Best game on Thursday night on paper all day was last week.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
I do think next week, I think Seattle, Arizona sneaky good.
I mean, it depends on Darnold's play. I feel like Darnold
Does, but he played well against Pittsburgh.
But he didn't have a good game against San Francisco the week before that.
True.
Like that was a real
Who do they
clunker as
have?
well.
This week they are home against New Orleans, so they'll be 2-1 going into the game.
Yeah.
Arizona is playing at San Francisco this week, so we'll find out a little bit more about both those teams. I think that could be good. I think that could be a sneaky good game. I'm rating it higher than you are, but you're right. Thursday night, do better. Like we're gonna, and that's the NFL. Like Tommy, you're the NFL. People are gonna watch Thursday night anyway. What the hell do you care?
Yeah,
right.
100%.
Right, yeah. All right. So Thursday night tonight, Buffalo, Miami. Buffalo, I assume, is still 12-point favorites. We'll touch on this game at the end of the hour, as well as Brewers and Angels. But coming up next, the replay you've all been waiting for. Manager Pat Murphy of our Milwaukee Brewers joined us in the 11 o'clock hour. We're going to replay that because it was that darn good. Remember, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer is at Left's in Tosa today from 2 to 5. Tommy's there from 5 to 6:30. We are there as a station, the Fan Milwaukee, from 2 to 6:30. The wings are great. The big pretzel is great. Left's, find Brian, find Left, find all the good people out there because they have good people out there at Left's. Pat Murphy coming up next here on the Fan. This is Middays with Thunder on The Fan, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey apps, iHeart apps, free on YouTube as well. We are on YouTube as we speak. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder, and it is my absolute honor and privilege at this time to bring into the show on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. He is manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy. Pat, thanks so much for jumping on today.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to hear your voice, and I'll be honest, it's been great to watch the team play this entire summer, spring, summer, and now into fall. I know you talked about it a little bit last week. I think the over-under in Vegas, which I'm sure are numbers you don't look at, and at the Potawatomi Sportsbook was 83.5 or 84.5 for total wins. 12 games to go, or 10 games to go, I'm sorry, you're already at 93. When you set your expectations for this season, do you have a win goal in mind? Is it a finishing a certain place in the division or in the league in mind? Or is it just playing the best baseball you can over 162?
Yeah, I try to not let my mind go to those big things. Like I really believe in this win tonight thing.
Yep. And
you just prepare them to win tonight, and then you look up and you go, "Wow, that was decent."
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Like we had last year, nobody predicted us to win the league last year, and we won the league by 10 games. Like people can say what they want, and if you start putting any time into that or making your own predictions, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Just go ahead and put your head down and play tonight and see what happens.
Pat Murphy joining us here on The Fan. It's easy. I don't know if it's easy, actually, I should say. But it sounds easy to say win tonight and to get everyone to buy into that. But when you have an 11-game winning streak, when you have a 14-game winning streak, when there are outside influences who are looking at the standings or potential playoff matchups or whatever that might be, how hard is it to focus on that win tonight in the clubhouse and make sure that everybody's on board and not, and if people do peek at the standings, that it's maybe okay to peek at it once, but not to get caught up in that sort of thing.
Right. I mean, it's hard to control. These are young minds and our minds. I mean, young or old, we're still at times undisciplined, and it's a difficult task. It's the mental toughness that it takes to stay in the now is incredible. It just is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's mental toughness. The mental toughness to stay in the now is really, really hard. And if players can start to take that journey and realize, wow, this is hard, but knowing that that's the journey that can lead you to a lot of success because your mind's on the right stuff, that's toughness.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy joining us here on Middays with Thunder. Pat, this is Tommy Wirtz here, was on the phone with you earlier. But you talk about the mental toughness with this team, and it also comes with such strong mental toughness with such little experience in the big leagues this season specifically.
Right.
You have a bunch of different rookies that have played massive roles for you this year, whether it is, a Chad Patrick on the pitching side or how the breakout season of Isaac Collins and Caleb Durbin. How do you credit the young guys to have that mental toughness so early in their career and able to sustain it at least for 90% of a season? Like, where do you go with the credit on that outcome for your team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think credit is even anything that we should talk about. It's credibility is what we talk about. Do those players develop credibility to be able to sustain it? And are they trusted by their teammates? And that's the credit word that we talk about is credibility. Who gets the credit? Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
That's just not our deal. But you're right for picking out, like, these are young players that no one had on their roster. A lot of these players on our roster wouldn't make the Dodgers or the Phillies or the Cubs or the Padres. They wouldn't make the team, but they make our team because we're the sum of the parts. Like, we don't have a bunch of superstars. We don't. But we have guys that want to grind. We have guys that want to fight you and have that mental toughness for the now. Now, it's been amazing what these guys have achieved. They really have. And I'm really proud of them. We got a lot of season left, and we're beat up. We're beat up badly. We got guys going on one leg. We got guys with all sorts of physical ailments, and we got a long way to go. So there's no coasting, and we got to keep that mentality.
Well, and Pat, how is that like a top-down thing preached, whether it is from Mark at the top or leaders in the clubhouse who are there every day on the coaching staff, and Christian Yelich specifically is who I want to get to as well with this. If you're going to have this mantra of win today and we're not worried about credit, we're worried about credibility, that's got to start from your leaders on the team, right? And Christian Yelich seems to embody that mindset better than anyone in your clubhouse, at least from the outside looking in.
I mean, he's incredible. I don't know better than anyone else or whatever at it. He's just been at it the longest.
Sure.
He's cool, calm, collected. He doesn't force it. He doesn't try to be a leader. He doesn't try to draw attention to himself ever. He's humble. He's sincere. He's authentic. And he provides such great example that it's a lesson on leadership. And he gives his opinion and he speaks up, but in really good doses. You know what I mean? In really good doses. He's critical to this ball club.
Pat Murphy joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. You mentioned some of the injuries, and certainly, as fans of the team, followers of the team, and sports media members, whether we're sports media members or not, we're noticing the injuries. Everybody's seeing Jose Quintana in a boot and now on the injured list. Trevor McGill on the injured list and potentially with a setback. Nick Mears coming off the injured list. But how much of this is, listen, at the end of 152 of 162 games, nobody's really healthy versus these are some injuries that the team really has to overcome looking ahead into the playoffs. Are you able to start planning for some of these injuries into the playoffs, or is it still you're not quite sure what this roster is going to look like a week or two from now?
Yeah, it's tough to forecast what the roster is going to look like completely. It's tough to forecast too much because McGill's injury, could not go away. The Quintana injury, we feel confident he will be able to help us at some point. But look, guys, we got to finish this to the finish line.
Yeah.
We got to finish it the right way.
Yep.
We've got tough opponents, maybe the toughest schedule of anybody because of familiarity and being on the road so much. And the pitchers we're facing, all that kind of comes into play. And we got to understand we've always overcome things. We played last year, won the league by 10 games. Yelich only played 73 games for us.
Yep.
Devin Williams played half the season. It's the who, it's the collection working together. And I think we're going to have to do it that way because we're not going to match up with any team in the postseason man for man. We match up in a different way. We match up and here we are, here's how we play, let's see how we do it. So I'm not even there yet mentally, I'm just
yeah. You're waiting there. You're a day at a time. I get that, and I think that's a great mindset that everyone can live by more than just past baseball, right? And when did you realize, or when were you trying to implement that philosophy into your clubhouse, Pat, this season? When did you realize that that's when you could get the best out of this group of Milwaukee Brewers, where it is, hey, we can have goals, but we can't focus on those goals until we get done with our business today. When did you realize that was going to be the best message? And when did you see a turn with the team on when they really bought into that message this year?
Yeah, I've had that message since the day I started as manager. I mean, it's been win tonight, and it's been all about the now and playing in the now. So it's even tough doing these interviews talking about going forward, but it's part of my job. So I do it. And you guys seem like really nice guys. So
we try.
We try.
Yeah.
And we're fans. Honestly, I know we're in the media, but we're fans too. So we cheer for you guys literally every day.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is always something that's pretty simple. It's but like you mentioned astutely, executing it is the hard part.
Yeah.
I say all this stuff, but do I really live it? Do I live it? And that's the difference, man. And if we got to keep our head that way. And the belief system, do you really believe? Are you positive about how you think? I mean, that's an area where I get crazy. I get negative thinking and what if. And I guess that's part of my job. But ultimately, you got to believe in your core, like a spirit, like there's something special. Let's let this team play it out. There's something special about this group. I mean, we started the season, guys. We started the season. Of the pitchers on our roster right now, only one, Freddie Peralta. Now Mears is back. No, Mears wasn't with us. Freddie Peralta and Koenig are the only two guys that opened the season out able to pitch.
Wow.
Freddie Peralta and Koenig, the only two guys opened the season. We had 11 other pitchers out that opened the season in New York, and we sustained that. We got through that. So nobody's had bigger adversity than us, but we've come together, and there's been a lot of consistent play, and like you guys mentioned, some of these rookies, they're cliffhangers. You know what I mean? They don't know if their locker's going to be there. They don't know if they're getting sent to AAA when I call them in. It's like it's a beautiful thing. They play hard, and their season is successful already. No matter how it goes forward, they've had a great season and represented the city well and the Milwaukee Brewers well.
Well, and Pat, as you talk about the team, you talk about some of the rookies, the special season that it's been. And I think sometimes it's hard for us as fans and as media members to know who to focus on. You guys talked about Christian Yelich for a little bit, and we talked about on our show, one of our topics was, is Christian Yelich underappreciated? Because Andrew Vaughn is terrible with the White Sox, gets sent down, and all of a sudden he's the best player in baseball in July. And then what Caleb Durbin's done, what Isaac Collins has done, Bryce Terang all of a sudden is Babe Ruth and the best power hitter in August and is unbelievable. And then you look at what Freddie Peralta's done with 17 wins with a 2.65 ERA. Quinn Priester, he's pitched in 18 straight games. You guys have won 18 straight games that he's pitched in. There's so many different storylines that when you get asked questions at post-game press conferences or you do interviews like this, how do you know what storyline that people want to hear about, or are you interested in some of these guys' backgrounds and where they came from and how they got to where they are today? There's so much. We could talk for hours and get it would take hours to get through each player's actually interesting story, and you get to deal with that every day.
I do, and it's a privilege. That's what I can tell you. It's a privilege to be around these guys. They all do have a great story, but they didn't get here. And we really got to credit our front office for, just understanding what fits here. It really, it's a difference maker. So.
Pat Murphy, Brewers manager, joining us here on Middays with Thunder. Brewers set to take on the Angels today, 6:40 first pitch from American Family Field. I have just one more question for you here, Pat. I never had the opportunity to meet Bob Uecker in my lifetime, which is a huge regret in my life. I was even employed when I was 18 with the Brewers and never found my way over there. What would his reaction to this season be so far? How would he be going throughout this? I mean, it's been an awesome run throughout the summer, and you see a lot of great stories and a lot of great moments. You have the burgers for the city and the moments of Miz coming up and being an all-star, right?
The pancakes. The
pancakes. I'm assuming Bob would have shared a pancake with you, at least from what I know. But what can you imagine? The first year without him and forever with this organization, and how would he have reacted to what's going on this summer?
Yeah, he's the same, I believe Uke is with us in spirit, and, we can feel him around the clubhouse. I mean, I can just see him coming forward the same every single day. Howdy, boys. When we lost, it's like, don't worry about that. When we won, he'd be the same. He'd be talking about something else. He knew how to handle his whole, the baseball season. That's where he was most at home, in the clubhouse. that's where things were really, really special for him. So, yeah, I mean, I'm just I'm here to tell you that he is as connected to this group as he was to last year's group.
That's awesome. Pat Murphy joining us here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. And before we let you go, 10 games left in the season. I know your mantra of win tonight and the focus on that. But as someone who does look at the standings every day, I see where the Cubs are. I see where the Phillies are. What would it mean to this team to not have to play in the wild card round, knowing kind of the heartache over the past few years and specifically last year, and with the injuries, knowing that there might be a few extra days to rest if things go the right way the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously, that's what we want to have happen, because you've got less games to have to win it all.
The number one
and
electrolyte
we want to build in that
Designed to
advantage, but this
hydrate
team hasn't done anything the easy way. This team always has found a way to make life interesting, and I respect whatever happens for them. Whatever way they choose to do it, and it will be their choice because they're capable of. We got some tough pitching we're going to face in the next 7 days, 10 days. The pitching, the kid tonight is outstanding, capable. Why he gets paid the big money. The kid tomorrow gets paid $35 million next year for pitching. That means he's a star. The kid after that's a veteran that has beaten us many times. The three in San Diego are all getting paid tons of money because they're really, really good. Yep. And so we got to figure that out. It's going to be like playoff baseball, and we got to just keep going. And it can't let what's supposed to be. I had somebody say to me this morning, "Oh, you're playing the Angels. They don't have a very good record." That has nothing to do with how the game's going to turn out. Because anybody in the big leagues can beat anybody. So we just got to keep that mentality.
Right.
Sorry, I can't jump in on your, talking about the postseason that much because it's just not here yet.
No, that totally makes sense. I was going to piggyback on what you just said and say, if the Brewers played the Angels 162 times, and you might disagree with this or not want to even make that hypothetical, I'm guessing the Brewers win a good 90 to 100 games just based on how this team's seasons have gone this year. But you don't play them. You don't play them 162 times. You play them 3 times. And each game, like you said, is a win tonight individual game. So as much as, you look at past history and you look at the statistics, and yes, are you favored to win tonight? Sure. But a pitcher pitches a shutout. You have no control over that, right? So so you just have to keep moving forward, right, Coach?
No question. You can't even. You mentioned the word favored. That's you just win pitches. Yep. You just keep winning pitches. If it's a ball, you take it. If it's a strike, you hit it, and hopefully you hit it where they're not. But you hit it hard enough that the space you have is a little bigger when you hit it real hard. So I think you kind of break it down into that, and you don't think too much about it. The results take care of themselves, and try to stay poised under pressure because there's a lot of pressure on these guys now.
Yeah,
it's something they've never faced. They've always been the underdogs, and now they're being told, well, you break the all-time record for franchise wins, and these guys are just like, what? Yeah. Early in the season, we didn't know we were going to be in the big leagues, and then the way the season started, we didn't know we weren't going to be in last place. So,
and we're just trying to win tonight, right?
That's exactly it.
I love it. Pat, thank you so much for taking the time. As you know, you've got a city, you've got a region, you've got a state, all with your eyes on you, filling up AmFam Field pretty much every game from this point till the end of the season and certainly into the playoffs. I know when the playoffs roll around, it's going to be loud, it's going to be raucous, as it should be, and that's why we're fans, because we're fanatics and we get loud. But we're cheering for you, we're cheering for the team. And we wish you much. I'm not going to say luck. We wish you much success the rest of the regular season, and whatever tonight's exist after that.
Thank you so much, and thanks for all your respect for these guys. They really deserve it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Pat.
All righty. Take care, guys.
That's Pat Murphy, manager of our Milwaukee Brewers. I had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier today, and just an absolute pleasure to talk to him today. And I know that we in the media we don't always have absolute pleasures, but that certainly was. And Brewers in action tonight against the Angels. We'll talk about that. We'll see what's going on there down at AmFam Field. We'll talk about the Cardinals coming up this weekend. And yeah, we'll wrap things up on this absolutely beautiful Thursday. It's a little warm, but absolutely beautiful outside. Blue skies. It's just like, what's going on? Where's fall? I don't know. Nobody knows.
I said, hey.
What's going on? This is Middays with Thunder. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. We're on 1250 AM, 1057 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app. And what's up, YouTube? Charlie. The gentle giant is in the house.
That is just, that was so classic.
That was
just
awesome.
to be surprised by Charlie's mustache.
Charlie Usen is in studio. Josh Albrecht is in studio. The fan studios are powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name's Mitch Nellis. This is Middays with Thunder. Again, thank you to Pat Murphy for jumping on earlier today. We're going to have a fun show tomorrow. Mikey Henninger from Brew to Basement Fantasy Football is going to jump on.
He might become our best friend.
He might.
I
think Ashley Washburn from TMJ4 is going to jump on tomorrow.
Nice.
I'm efforting. I might have you effort this as well. Matt Pauley.
Oh, yeah. I can get Paul.
Yeah, I sent him a message over Twitter because that's how we talk sometimes. But I know you are on texting terms with him.
Maybe if you're nice enough, I'll give you his number too one day.
That'd be really nice. I bet I could find it on an old rundown, but I like you better.
Probably.
So I would just ask you. Yeah. So if you want to shoot up because the Brewers are in St. Louis tomorrow night, I thought that'd be a good, thing. I know we have somebody from 92.3 The Game. The fan in Cleveland.
Yes.
On the Mason Crosby show tomorrow for a little Eye on the Enemy.
Yep. Nick Wilson.
Which is kind of fun because it's like, Eye on the Enemy. Like, Cleveland's not really yet. Like, they suck.
I mean,
like, come on. The Browns suck.
I don't know. They got a good defense, man.
Well, that's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing that the Browns have a good defense.
They do have a good defense. I'm also like wearing Browns orange right now, it feels like.
Totally not.
Kind of.
I mean, a little bit maybe, but you're wearing like if the brown and the orange had a baby. Like that's what you're wearing.
I'm wearing orange.
Yes, orange. Exactly. I like that. So again, our thanks to Pat Murphy for jumping on. Brewers are in action today. There is some day baseball going on. Nothing really of too much concern to us because, of course, we are watching the Cubs who are playing at the Reds tonight at 6:15 on Fox.
Nice.
There's a Thursday night Fox baseball. Is that a thing? I know Saturday night Fox baseball is a thing.
What's on Apple TV tomorrow? Got to remember that Apple TV.
Wait, the Brewers game is?
No, I said
what is?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
Apple TV baseball.
And then Angels at Brewers tonight, 6:40 start. So of course, remember Sparky's at lefts today from 2 to 5. Tommy's at lefts from 5 to 6:30, taking you up to game time. You'll see Kikuchi.
You say
Kikuchi. I say Kikuchi. I take it on Quinn Priester.
Mitch, just every name that you could possibly never pronounce correct, you never pronounce correct. It's awesome
and it's funny.
Great. It's
because
great.
When I worked at the Wisconsin State Journal with Drew Wagner, I was the king of like anyone would call in from like the remotest rural parts of Wisconsin and give me their name, and I would spell correctly every time.
And it's like how much of a grammar stickler you are, like
right.
your phonetics fail you sometimes.
I just think I'm old and my brain fails me sometimes.
Okay.
Quinn Priester has pitched in 18 straight games that the Milwaukee Brewers have won.
Correct.
And so we're confident tonight. We're trying not to be overconfident tonight. But one of us took the Brewers to win tonight in our picks segment earlier today on the Mason Crosby show. So I am confident the Brewers can come out victorious from this game tonight.
I completely agree. I think that Quinn Priester, I wonder if there's an MLB archive record on that where if he didn't lose a game for the rest of the year, right?
He's only going to pitch in 2 more games.
Right. So what do you think there's got to be some old timey 1930s Walter Johnson era-esque pitcher that like won 20 consecutive games that he pitched in?
Yep.
But when's the last time that happened?
That's actually a good question.
I don't think that happens very often. So
the closest Quinn Priester came to pitching in a loss was, of course, that Isaac Collins walk-off home run off Edwin Diaz. Was that Collins? That was Collins.
I don't think it was Durbin.
Well, that was that. Oh, was Collins the Saturday game? Oh no, it wasn't Durbin. Yeah, it was Collins.
It was Collins.
He pitched 4 1/3 innings, gave up 10 hits, 6 earned runs. So when he left, were they down 6-0 in that game or 6 something?
Oh yeah, they were down 6 in that game.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yep,
yes.
they're down 6-0, and Isaac Collins hit a home run off Edwin Diaz to win the game in the bottom of the 9th. So like Caleb Quinn Priester, like, didn't win had a terrible start. But the team came back for him. His next start, 5 1/3, 2 runs against Cincinnati, a game the Brewers won in 11. His next start, he only pitched 4 1/3 against the Cubs, but 3 hits, 1 run. He did walk 5. His pitch count was at 95, but the Brewers won that one 4-1.
But the
then
boys...
at Toronto, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, none earned. They won 4-1. Then at Pittsburgh, they won 5-2. Then at St. Louis, they won 8-2. And he has gone, 3 times since the end of July. He's gone 7 innings 3 times, which is like not great, but it's better for for modern pitchers.
What
to go 7 innings is a big deal.
What do I say? The boys get up for Quinn.
Yeah,
the boys get up for him.
They
don't get up for Chad Patrick.
Nope.
But they get up for Quinn Priester every time for some reason. Even if he's not on his A game, the boys get up for him in the clubhouse. The offense always performs, it feels like, and it has to if you're going to win 18 games in a row, right? It's hard to pitch 18 quality games in a row, and Quinn Priester hasn't necessarily done that, but the boys have gotten up for Quinn Priester 18 straight games. May 24th, like what was happening May 20th? It feels like it was a different era. Like it was totally
21 and 25.
It was
right 25 and 28.
It is
whatever.
It is that game. May 25th was always the date where you would start that Brewer number, right? It was like, oh, they're this and this since May 25th, and it all started with that Quinn Priester game. After that was, I believe, Carlos Rodriguez wearing it through the,
I think so,
through the rain delay. Remember?
Yes.
Like Quinn Priester came out, had a pretty good game, and then Carlos Rodriguez went out. Then the rain delay happens, and then Rodriguez came back,
which you almost never see.
Right.
But they needed some innings, just like they've needed some innings and gotten some innings the past couple of days. Woody with a nice performance last night. He's like, I'm just like, we didn't even talk about him with Murphy when I was mentioning all the great stories of this year. Like, what a great story that Woody's been. And I wonder, assuming things go well the rest of the year for the Brewers and for Woody, like what happens next year? Like somebody's going to throw a bag at him, but like he loves Milwaukee. Milwaukee loves him. I think the Brewers are going to throw a bag at him, but it might not be the biggest bag. What does he do? What do you do if you're Brandon Woodruff? I know we're jumping ahead of ourselves. We don't have to get into this.
I think he just really likes the place too.
I think he really likes the place.
So I think that does help Milwaukee.
Yep.
I was thinking of it from like comeback player of the year type stuff.
Yeah.
But Christian Yelich probably steals it away from him, right?
I assume so, but I don't know how that, I'd have to look at other rosters and really figure out who's in the
It's going to be Christian Yelich or Brandon Woodruff, guaranteed.
It sure seems like
guaranteed.
Yeah, I like that.
Who else is having that season from the injury perspective? Yelich is the very clear favorite. It feels like
wings or big A pretzel. If you're getting food at Left's tonight.
Well, you know me. I don't eat on the remotes. I just can't do it.
Okay, Sparky.
I know. Yeah. I'm cool with my waters.
You've been brainwashed by the Sparky.
No,
huh?
it's like
what is it?
It's actually
food.
more or less.
Man, I hate free. I told you it must be nice to be so independently wealthy like you to turn down free food.
I told you I ate preheated taquitos instead of eating
Love
the
preheated
other
taquitos.
place
I will do
last
preheated
time.
taquitos.
I'm telling you right now that it's like very reminiscent of
like
competition.
if they gave you a plate of food at 6:30, would you eat it then?
More likely to eat it then.
All
yes.
right. So do you want the big A pretzel or do you want wings? Because they're both absolutely wonderful at Left's.
Boneless wings, I'll take.
If it's your nuggets, just say nuggets.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Fine. I like tasty chicken nuggets. I'm totally cool with
that.
that.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Just call them nuggets.
Well, they're called boneless wings.
No, they're not.
That's literally what they're marketed.
I don't care what they're marketed as. That's not what they
call
are.
them whatever you want. Okay.
But you can't.
Is it a hoagie or is it a sub sandwich? It's the same thing.
Well, that's like where you're from.
Oh, wow. Maybe it's how you were introduced to it, correct?
No, there's no such thing as a boneless wing that doesn't exist on Earth. Like the subs and hoagies exist on Earth.
I just wish I could get this out of you whenever we're not talking about food. The anger, the passion.
I need something to be mad about. Like, all right, let's wait till Buck season. I'm sure there'll be lots of things.
Badger season does it.
Badger season does a little bit.
Too.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Want to thank everybody, Josh Albrecht and Trevor Thomas for jumping on the show today. Wanted to thank Pat Murphy for joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Charlie shaved his beard in a questionable decision, but he was ready for a reset. And so we support him no matter what he does. Good to see Mason Crosby IRL in real life. He'll be back on tomorrow from 9 to 11. And then, of course, I'll be here from 11 to 2. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer is at Left's right now. He'll be there from 2 to 5 with Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's. Tommy Wirtz will then be there from 5 to 6:30 with the leadoff show. And the new lineup starts on Monday. Cannot wait. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. This has been Middays with Thunder on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, free on the iHeart app, free on YouTube, youtube.com/@TheFanMilwaukee. Get that in there, @TheFanMilwaukee. We'll see you and do it again tomorrow. Sparky is next.